It's now on the record now.
Shut up. One of my friends dared me. You won't play the whole game. 30 levels under recommendation for every area, and I said, bet, fucking bet. The recommended level for this boss fight is, I believe, 110. I'm only level 80.
Okay. I didn't know there were that many levels in Bloodborne, I'm gonna be honest.
You can get all the way up to, I want to say it's like 542.
The fuck, dude?
Um,
Oh, okay.
and Dark Souls, you can get all the way up to.
There are levels in Dark Souls?
So, it's the same thing as a character sheet, like Heroes,
Oh,
right?
okay. Well, no, I know how it works. Like, I know that you can get like souls for experience and such like that in Dark Souls. I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they
Um,
actually leveled up though. I just thought, yeah.
you level up your stats, and
Mm.
that increases your yeah.
Mhm.
This just says level, but in Dark Souls it would say soul level,
Oh, okay.
just like how much souls you have pumped into yourself. Oh,
That's not
sorry,
kinky.
I'm not 80 yet. I'm 78. Heaven for fucking bed.
Uh huh. I am
You have a full
streaming,
bed?
by the way. This is
Oh
amazing.
god damn it!
I've been streaming and since you said the 12-inch cock thing. I'm like, oh,
Oh
okay, perfect
Jesus
time. Let's
Christ!
put that up on there. Dude, okay, I'm never getting partner. There's no way Twitch will ever take me on as a partner. I'm okay with that. But this makes it entertaining.
Lady Maria, fuck off.
Oh, now he's talking trash about Christian people. I think that's a Christian. I don't know. I don't know much about Christianity's
No,
religious values or people's. I read the Bible once. I was 6 and I got a free donut because of it. That's the only reason I know some of this. Oh,
fair
is it
enough.
Lady Maria? Isn't that in? I recognize it from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Isn't that the person that the fucking priest prays
You're
to
talking to the
constantly?
wrong fucking person.
You've not seen Hunchback of Notre Dame?
The last time I saw it, I think I was 8.
Oh, okay. I mean, I just love the song Hellfire. It's a really good song. No comment, Cyrus?
It's been so long ago that I watched it, I don't remember much about it.
Oh, you guys, won my poor heart. I love Disney films, and I've seen so many. Although I think that's technically Pixar, I want to say. Let me see if
Yeah.
that is, because I think it was a little dark for Disney. I mean, given the fact that they had Steamboat Willie screwing cheese and at some point, but
I remember I liked the movie, I just don't remember much about it.
let me see.
No,
It
no,
is
no, 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 no.
apparently he found someone with a bigger cock.
God!
It is Disney.
Is
First time to come in Maya.
Oh no, she was 1 hit away.
Welcome to
Oh.
D&D.
Captain's having problems killing stuff.
He's having
I
problems. Someone has a bigger dick, and they've been attacking him, and he's been losing. The measuring contest isn't
Royce?
going well. Yes.
Shut it.
Oh, man.
I outright said I do not have what was aforementioned. There is a lady in the group now, and I would prefer not
Oh
to.
no! She's played Cards Against Humanity with me, Wolf and Trent. Trust me.
I've probably heard worse in school, so just like,
I know,
or
but
heard worse from Cameron, or just being around this group in general.
The
I
shit we
try to
would,
be a gentleman.
the shit we would make her say.
Might be tough.
No, the shit we'd make her say in Cards Against Humanity was amazing. Even if it had nothing to do with the current card, we'd make sure every time she came up, it was the worst combos.
Oh yeah, because Tikva had the running theme where anytime I was up, everyone had to play a vagina card for whatever reason. Oh, look, there's a female person. Ho ho.
I mean, we would have done it to Cameron, but everyone gets upset with us when we bully Cameron, so we give you
We
shit, we
should
don't
do
get yelled
Cards
at.
Against Humanity sometime with the new guys.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys gotta
Sure.
play it.
Oh.
There's one
Ow.
version where you can upload pictures.
No.
It's harder to get into, but
Oh my head.
Oh man, this is
I
great.
think I'm having a stroke.
Can you? Oh well, go ahead and make sure you turn your webcam on and send it me the feed. I can make a lot of money off of you.
Oh, joy.
This is how
Pirate
friendship
captain has
works.
stroke on camera.
Exactly. Perfect. You know, we can get some money donations. So we can, afford to put Trent through college. God knows we're gonna need to, pay for at least an extra 4 years for him. Every time he has to repeat. Yeah. Gods. Where's
I guess
Cameron
I'll
today?
just pray.
Nah, Maya,
I
we
don't
believe in
know.
you. You're studying agriculture. All you gotta learn is how cows breed.
Oh, I'm not studying. I just have a job that involves
poking me.
agriculture. What?
remember, remember Maya, the bigger dick conversation we
Shut
had
the
at the
fuck up.
beginning. This is why he's being poked with
By what?
the Moby. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh gosh, not the Moby.
Oh man, gods. It's a good morning. God damn.
Is it?
I mean, he
Well,
fucking graduated. It better be.
fuck, dude. I mean, we don't even know if I just got recommended. I officially don't have the degree in my hand till next week, so we're still waiting to see if fucking the teacher who will not be named, who is an asshole outright, who I've taken twice. Captain's dead again. See, what Captain's dealing with is what I dealt with in a class this term, but it continued for 3 months.
What is going on?
He's being killed by Saint Maria from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, what are you playing? Bloodline? Something?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Oh, you're
what?
playing a
You know what?
game. Okay, that makes. I thought this was all real life. He was getting terrorized in real life.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
someone's.
start streaming. I'm gonna start streaming. Hope you guys enjoy.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
drop your Twitch channel, bro.
Yeah,
It's
go.
YouTube.
Oh well, hey, make sure to mention, drop my Twitch channel then.
I will.
I appreciate it. Oh man, because I've got 118 followers on Twitch and 30 on YouTube. Oh, I'm so popular, guys. Jesus though.
So
Poor.
my YouTube channel is Captain Ricard, spelt just like my character in D&D. And I'm about to start the live stream.
Boom.
Uh,
There you go.
so it should be up any second.
I'll post it here in a minute. I've just got
So
to
it's
go.
just Captain Ricard.
Yep.
Okay.
I
I'll
have
go
to.
dislike it. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, that's right. On YouTube, you can dislike stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Also, please ignore my hair. I'm gonna be honest. My barber doesn't open till the 22nd, and he's booked through for 3 months. So.
All right,
Yeah.
stream's up, guys.
I'm assuming it's the dude with the pirate looking
Yeah.
photo in it.
For
Yep.
anyone watching in post, I am on call with my D&D group, and I have lost my fucking mind.
He's getting
That
poked by the
happens.
Moby. Please go Google what
Wait,
the Moby
does
is.
this mean we're all gonna be live on 2 different streams?
Yep.
Wow, double
Be able
stream.
to hear you.
Oh, they can't hear us?
Streamception.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks.
Just
Ah.
because it's only recording the PS4 chat.
Oh, that's right, because you stream through your PS4.
Ricard, pro tip: don't die.
You'll survive longer if you don't get hit. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. The gamer tip is to kill the enemy while not dying.
You can water bend in that game, right? That's a thing.
No.
Oh no, it lagged for me as soon as you said that. Oh, it's back.
Oh man.
Who's the little ghosts running around? Are they?
Yeah, why are you
players?
getting gangbanged by ghosts?
I'm not getting gangbanged by ghosts. Thank you very much.
Oh, I gotta see this. Oh, there we go.
You should have dodged that. Look
Yeah.
You really asked for this. Oh man, why are you being?
Yeah, why didn't you dodge?
You're being beaten by what looks to be an SS member. I'm not gonna lie. What the hell? This looks like an officer in the Nazi army. What is
Might as
this?
well be.
That's not a lady. That's a dude, I'm waiting for him to pop out his blonde hair. Also, hi, Cameron.
Captain's live streaming. You should come watch and terrorize.
Oh, he's stabbing himself. Oh, okay.
Oh.
He likes to penetrate himself.
Must
That's
be
good
that
to
time
know.
of month.
Oh, come on. That's not okay. You are too young.
Hey man, the Red Sea parted.
Oh, God damn it, Maya. It's so wrong. Oh man.
Hey, dark humor's best humor.
Yeah, but not when you're underage. Come on, save it till you're 18. Oh God, now he's sucking in the blood and exploding it
Yep.
out. Oh, that's so wrong.
Oh no, it's lagging again.
Captain's
it's
really
back.
trying not to respond to us so it doesn't get recorded on his stream.
Why do you have a lightsaber?
Shut up!
He's a gray
Should've
Jedi, guys.
dodged.
Oh.
He is a bloodbender. Holy
Look
shit!
out, there's ghosts again.
It's Casper, and yeah, it's gonna fuck you up, man.
Casper the too touchy ghost.
Oh God,
Oh.
prey slaughtered.
See, all you needed was heckling.
Oh. I really hope my dad isn't home hearing me scream.
This is why I don't play games
Looper
like that.
Ricard loses his shit. I just read the title.
Oh, it's so accurate though.
I am covered in blood.
Oh.
Well, since I actually have.
Are you overcompensating? Like, those are really big. What are they, guns?
Well, this is a gun. It's a flintlock, and then this is a church pike. He goes stab.
Church. Pike.
Church pike. Wait.
Yes, you need
Yeah.
to stab people, but with holy.
I mean, I
Well,
have
he leaves
this,
the holy.
which is actually holy.
Well,
big
so
bloody
you
sword.
turn. How are you turning it into a si- Okay, that
Should-
makes
you
no
should view
physical
the notes.
sense.
I thought that said view nudes and not view notes.
I don't want to see
mean-
that man's nudes. No.
Me neither.
There's this sword, when you stab into a sheath, when you take it out, it comes out covered in
You
blood.
don't stab sheaths, okay? That is
Well,
a
then
sex
why does
thing.
it fucking gush blood when you pull it out?
Oh my God.
'Cause he has
Mm.
body parts in there.
Ew.
Or he's just stabbing himself.
Anyways, I'm gonna
I'm
end
just
the
gonna choose not to
that's-
comment on that
live
one.
stream
Or that's a
because
really
I actually
deep-
have people.
Oh, okay. All right, I won't go there. Cuz I think Cyrus was thinking the same thing I was.
I'm pretty certain
What?
I was.
That's a real deep fleshlight, let's go with.
Shut the fuck up.
Why does it have blood in it?
Well, realistic
Every
feeling.
time.
It's that time of month, boys.
When he pulls the sword out.
Oh, my head. Oh, I can feel my heartbeat in my fucking forehead.
Oh, man. God
Three
damn.
people watching now. We're just staring intently.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be right fucking back. Make sure my dad doesn't hear me have an aneurysm.
Tell him about stabbing the fleshlight. I think he left. Damn it. So Cameron, how's Go's life, buddy? Assuming you're even there.
I think
I'm
Karen
here.
just
I'm
like
staying muted because can't be. You gotta keep an eye on a certain 1-year-old who's getting very handsy.
that's
We don't go that far. Nope,
Bad.
Maya, put it
Well,
down.
he's home.
yeah.
Drop the
Karen,
joke.
watch your words, please.
Captain, did you tell your dad about stabbing the fleshlight and blood coming out?
No, but I did tell him I lost my fucking mind.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Oh yeah, for those who are tuning into the stream, just a reminder, tomorrow is my 24-hour stream. It starts at 9 a.m. PST. Come chill out around probably 2ish when you start to see when I regret everything.
When I get out of work, I'll
Wait,
definitely come
you're saying you
terrorize
don't
you.
regret everything on a daily basis? That's really deep.
Cameron, I don't know how to respond to that level of depression. Buddy,
You can't. It's just a fact.
you need a hug.
Maybe.
Look good. Go hug the child. Don't hug me.
That. Okay.
That probably came out sounding worse than it was meant to.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that.
Oh man, goddamn. Oh, speaking of which, so I was chatting with my cousin recently. My cousin's an 8-year-old, and
Oh.
he sucks at reading. He hates reading, absolutely hates reading. Loves math. And so we were sitting there chatting, and I was like, if you want to be able to play video games, you gotta learn to read. He's like, no, I don't. There's no reading in video games. Like, there is outside of Minecraft. And he's like, wait, really? And so I was like, yeah. So he came over. We're playing on the N64. We're playing Super Mario 64. He goes, all right, I need to learn to read. First few seconds into, he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, yep, exactly. So we sat down, started reading D&D books.
There you go.
You know that's some dedication when you learn to read only to play games better.
I'm not gonna lie, that was my reasoning. I learned to read because I liked video games.
I like books.
You're a nerd. Back in those days, they didn't have cutscenes yet, so we didn't get the whole, them speaking the
Narration.
parts and narration. Yeah, back in my day, all of it was
Yeah.
text-based, and
Then
you had to
again-
learn to read.
Deaf people get
Yeah,
screwed
the
over because
word-
even when video games have subtitles, they don't usually subtitle very well.
Oh god,
No.
Super Mario 64 had the worst written dialogue because it's in fucking cursive and it's a bitch to read.
Oh, cursive sucks.
Tell me about it. My grade was the last one to have to learn fucking cursive here, at least here in Oregon.
They tried to teach us in like elementary, but then everyone was just like, "How about no?"
No, we didn't
And
have
then by
choice.
middle school and high school, they just gave up.
No, that's bullshit. I had to learn it from the 2nd grade to the 5th how to write in
Yeah.
cursive.
In elementary, they teach you have to write within the lines. You have to make the writing look pretty. And in high school, they're
Mhm.
just like, take notes or perish.
Yep.
Faster, faster,
That's how
write faster.
Granted,
I don't care if it scribbles.
Yeah.
you can
Nope.
get through without taking notes. It's just then you have to have a good memory.
I don't think any teenager has that good a memory.
I don't think any teacher stays awake long enough in a class otherwise.
That's how I never took notes and I passed most of my tests. So
Fucking nerd.
only ones I ever had issues with was English tests.
You can't take notes on English.
Just
No,
write, I
I
guess.
technically had a writing disability. Back,
Heck,
I heard someone
I
say
did
kill her.
keyboarding on actual typewriter.
Oh, I didn't go that far.
Oh gosh.
I just remember learning the first version of Microsoft PowerPoint and Word and having to teach people it.
Although the next year they did get rid of the typewriters and they went to, I think, Apple
my,
Tube or something like that.
my whole problem was I couldn't write a story in the proper order, so at all.
Fair
I
enough.
hate the writing assignments where they're like, has this moment ever happened in your life? Write about your life. It's like, I don't remember anything about my childhood. Nothing interesting happens. What do I write about?
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. Now here's
It's like,
the
I
question.
can make up a story. I just can't write about myself.
Since no one here is older than me, I'm curious if any of you had to do this. So we learned, of course, when I learned typing and like how to use computers was in the 7th grade. We first started out on Microsoft Word and PowerPoint on the Fat Macs is what we called them. They were the clear or colored back ones. Because my school was poor and we couldn't afford shit. Did you guys have to put those orange covers over the letters to learn how to type?
Yes, I
Yep.
hated. I still don't use that. They're like, you have to use all their hands. No one does that. They just like use individual fingers and just like
Well,
type. I don't.
They chicken scratch.
no, it's called
Yeah.
hunt and peck. That's when you use only one to two fingers.
Okay,
Go ahead, Captain.
I've got this like weird hybrid typing of hunt and peck slash like
Yeah.
normal typing because I use my first 3 fingers, my index, middle, and ring fingers,
Mhm.
and with those I do a sort of hunt and peck, but also like, I don't know, it's weird.
I don't use the pinkies. I don't reach. I just move my hand over to type if I have to do on computer. I don't try to use my pinky.
And the only thing I use my thumbs for is the spacebar.
Like,
Um,
Outside of
Yeah.
QWERTY, this is not going to work, and not all keyboards are QWERTY.
Well,
Yeah, I do more typing on the phone anyway, so I'm just attuned to like typing really fast with my thumbs, and that's it.
I love that because I can still remember using one of the old phones where you had to hit 2 like 3 times just to get a C.
Oh, I hated
Yeah,
those.
Yeah.
my flip phone was like that. My flip phone was like that.
Yep.
I used to type so fast on my flip
Mhm.
phone that my girlfriend at the time, like, tried to see how fast I could do it. Like, she told me to, like, say, like, some basic sentence, like,
Mhm.
Tommy grabbed an apple from the shop, and then send it to her to see how fast I could get it over to her. I sent the text in less than 5 seconds.
Jesus.
Nice.
But the reason
Yeah,
I
then,
bring
then
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say then they got the predictive typing where you didn't
Mhm.
have to
Oh.
necessarily do every push.
Yep.
I don't trust autocorrect.
But
I only
that
use
was
it
wrong
like
like
if I
half the
have
time.
words I
Mhm.
don't know how to spell, and like that's it.
Yeah.
Well, so the reason I
Typing is amazing until it changes your cursing into a pleasant sentence with ducks.
Oh god. The reason I asked about the whole thing with covers, so when we were learning, one of the things we played a lot was RuneScape, because RuneScape was the only game
Oh,
out on the computer
Jesus.
back in those days. When we were playing that and Dwarf Fortress, but
about
you had to
memory
download
lane.
Dwarf Fortress. So we used to play RuneScape, and we'd have to do it with the covers to make it look like we were actually learning something, so the teacher would leave us alone. Because if you couldn't put the cover on quick enough when the teacher was coming back to check on you, so you learned how to
Oh,
play
yeah.
it blind. Oh fuck, that was a fun time, I tell you.
No, see,
like
they
the
gave us
start-
a program when I was in like middle school, elementary, where you had to like get on this program and learn words, and they had like these video game quote unquote things that were god awful. It was timed, and you had to like type quickly,
Yep.
and like it stressed everyone out. Everyone was like pulling their hair out.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
There was
no,
like
I
a
got
robot on
52
Mars.
mistakes
You had to
on
like
that,
control a submarine under the water, and it's like you didn't type fast enough, you died.
Or you mistype the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, one mistype, just restart everything.
I didn't have
And you
that.
reset all the way back to level 1.
I hated
And
it.
the
I
teacher
didn't.
Yeah.
walks over because the teacher can monitor everybody's screens, and they're like, "Did you learn from your mistake?"
See, we never had that. We had we'd get basically a paper assignment where we had to write like a 3 to 10 page essay on a subject that we had to research on the internet and type everything out. But our teacher, although they could monitor our screen, most of the time we just caught them looking at porn while sitting at their desk. So,
Gross.
Oh.
yeah, that was a normal thing.
I hope it was not child.
Well, one of our
based.
substitutes, yeah, actually he did get busted for that a few years
Oh.
back.
Oh,
I remember that because when I saw him on the news, I'm like, wait, that guy looks familiar. Oh shoot, that's Coach Toth's old substitute. He was his main sub. He'd come in. He looked like an old ginger Santa Claus.
So
Like,
Oh, don't
no.
sit on his lap.
No, his hair, he had like no hair up top. His beard was nasty. It was so poorly taken care of, and he was probably at least 400 or 500 pounds. And yep, if you had to sit near him, because the way the desks were set, there was like 3 computers that were right beside his, and oh my god, he smelled of old cheese.
Ew.
Yeah, it was fantastic, boys.
That wasn't cheese.
Yeah,
I
was
never
is it
asked.
from a cow or?
I didn't get that close. I'm not gonna lie.
Does your mug say World's OKest DM?
It does. This was
Yes.
a gift from
Wait,
Wolf.
I wasn't looking on Twitch. What?
He's got a coffee mug that says World's OKest DM.
Yep. That was a
Because
gift
we all
from
know
Wolf.
He's not the best, but he does okay.
Yeah, I found that
Oh, there's
one
an
day.
ad.
Oh yeah, I found that one day, and yeah, I was like, oh man, I should totally.
Royce,
What?
why does it say, "Do you have the gall"?
You just like finally saw that. Oh, that's funny.
I don't know what you're
That's
talking
not a
about.
very large text.
We new plot, guys. Forget the revenge against Grim Legacy. We need to find a way to assassinate Gaul.
I'm okay with this.
Let me make a character sheet for him real quick.
Oh shit.
All right.
Yeah, you had one because you said you wanted him to go on adventures with us. He was
No,
offering.
I was bullshitting, Maya. You should know this by now.
Yeah, and I'm the only
Good,
one that's
'cause
willing
I wasn't
to take
inviting
off on it.
him.
I'm sorry, that's an extra person to throw in front of a freaking enemy.
Yeah, no. Good luck
He's
on
gonna
that.
make the character sheet. We're gonna try to fight him, and it's gonna turn out he's some fucking
He'll-
demigod.
Yeah, or he gets possessed by an enemy and then like kills one of us. All because we brought him along.
Then it's
With
just
a thumb.
constant jokes of, you had the gall to kill me from his ghost following by around.
No.
I'm not
What
answering that.
unfinished business would Gaul have that he didn't annoy me enough?
The untold
Cutting off
jokes.
finding more thumbs for you. He needs a thumb of every species.
You
Oh,
That
act.
includes animals.
You act
Don't
like
give
I
the damn
can't
idea.
make up something within like 5 seconds of this whole
That's
situation.
the power of DMs.
Yeah.
After cutting off Gaul's head, you simply see a ghost head there, and the rest of his body is still there. You find
So
out he's
this is
in a
how
literal
Ricard dies.
You open up Gaul
Big
and
battle.
he's just a thumb.
Not
He's one of the thumb men from Spy Kids, where
Holy
their head's
shit.
just a thumb.
You know Spy Kids? Oh my god.
Yes, Sharp Boy and Lava Girl I watched before.
Oh, it's
That
that.
was my
diff-
shit.
No,
as
there
a
was
kid.
one time where I was older, where I like thought I had Fever
You were
Dream the
older?
movie, and then I found it online, and I was like, okay, so I'm not
Yeah,
crazy.
when I watched
That
it together,
entire movie really does feel like a fever dream.
it does.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
you
So
can't
I don't
lie.
remember them
Watch
that well,
that.
but I watched them.
You think when you've done watching, when you go to bed, you believe you've gone through a fever dream, and it's like, what the fuck did I just witness?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Spy
Yeah,
Kids 3
it's
was
it's
even
not
worse.
comforting to wake up and realize no, George Lopez really did look like that.
Or
Alright,
the guy
let's
from
Okay.
Monk, I can't remember his name.
see.
On the
Um,
bright side, I think my aneurysm has fucking passed.
Oh, but I've got one for
Don't
you.
have too much faith.
I am building Gull's character sheet as we're talking.
As long as he's not a demigod, I think I will be somewhat like sane afterwards.
Well, he's no
He's-
Snicknash.
I mean, to be fair, from what Gaul claimed last session, he was a fighter, and we don't have a fighter per se. We have a paladin now, but we don't have a fighter.
We
So he
will.
could maybe be useful, assuming the DM rolls good for him. But considering how the DM usually rolls with dice, you know, he'll like dip into his
Okay.
nat 20s.
Okay.
If you really want a fighter, find a way to get Ricard killed because my next character is a fighter.
That's fair.
Okay.
Give it a couple seconds.
One Mississippi.
Yep. Alright. This should work.
The card's a rogue. Can't you just like slice Gaul's or someone's throat in their sleep, all sneaky like?
Mm-hmm.
Just roll good.
No, because according to the according to the joke cat, he is the guy that always is trying to get people to 1v1 him. Because he's a swashbuckler.
Mm. Fair enough. Let me see something. Alright,
So
where is...
he's the rogue with the swashbuckler archetype?
Yep.
Alright, we'll add
Okay.
that.
Because-
inventory.
Rogue has the assassin, which is a stabby person that can disguise themselves as a little child and stab someone and then blame it on them later.
Also, DM, before, not in the pre-show, but before we get into the session too deep, I want questions for you. I have questions for you.
Okay.
I want
What are
questions.
your...
Zaya has business.
Okay. What are your questions?
Okay, from Zaya's limited understanding, because she's not a very religious person, does building churches and gaining more followers increase the power of gods?
Yes.
And if a follower does like do something like erect a church or spread the religion, do they get noticed more by their god?
Yes, typically.
Then Zaya would like to look into arranging a Church of Magwar as the Tiefling lands are being rebuilt.
That's an interesting choice.
She doesn't know who to talk to, but her god basically
Wait, are you
just
making
saved
the
her.
God, the crack and the god, their new.
She's not gonna enforce a religion per se, but she's gonna strongly encourage it. And considering he saved her and Captain and
Well.
Cyrus's butt,
Yeah.
she wants to help repay the debt and also get him more powerful.
She
So
did.
that way she can get more
I mean,
powerful.
he almost killed Captain. Actually, he did kill Captain.
Multiple
I have to
times.
make this joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
essentially making
That's
hentai your country's religion.
Japan.
Yeah, well, if hentai does its job, then it does its job.
This is New Japan, everybody.
I mean,
We live in the space. If we're an island and we're in the ocean, it makes sense to worship a powerful kraken. I'm just saying.
quick. We need to make sure that everything is similar. Make sushi.
Yeah. Yes, sushi. I had it last night. It was amazing.
So I have a question.
I have an answer.
If Gaul just so happens to cease living, could we possibly play this?
Go commit to die. What is it? What is it? What chat? What chat?
Be good in general.
Come up and dance.
God damn it. Ugh.
Oh yeah,
God.
Cameron, what god does your paladin worship?
It says it on my sheet.
I'm not looking at your sheet, but okay. Cause hey man, if you want to worship the Kraken god,
Damn it. Where is it?
Oh my god.
increase his power so I don't die, maybe.
No. Mine worships the one that gifted him power.
Well, Magwar gave Zaya power, so I guess she's doing the same thing.
So yeah, no. He has a god.
Where do I see what your
The
god
hidden one.
is?
Description, I think.
I can't look at description. It's secret. It's personalized. Only the DM and the person who made it can see it. This is basic D&D beyond knowledge, Cameron. I can't see your notes. I can't see your description.
The hidden one.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. You're the dragon stuff.
My dragon.
He'd
My
rather worship
dragon
himself than
stuff.
worship my all-powerful Kraken dad. I get it.
Your hentai daddy has no effect on me.
How about you get in a fight with him and see about that? Because
Give me 3 more
Fuka's one
levels.
character, Zaya's brother, got swallowed by him, and it didn't go well.
Give me 5 more levels.
Don't kill the god that's giving me power, please.
Then don't tell me to challenge him.
I didn't.
Should I mention it's 5 o'clock yet?
Yeah, it
It's
just turned it.
6, yeah. Yeah, it's 6 on the dot for me.
Last time we left off, the DM invented the best character possible.
Shut up.
Gaul, who always has the gall. Been dying for that one. So yes, Gaul, who terrorized the party after Zaya was crowned queen, running into Malthor, who at the same time was hunting a gnome by the name of Silverthread, and who was also hunting Zopip. The group would retreat back to Zaya's old family manor, in which now she has been announced to have the new throne room set up, and basically made an alliance with Tenem in the agreement of marrying one of his sons. Now, it doesn't know which one, just outright agreed to avoid dealing with the giant dwarf. Thus,
I was told the baby one.
they're twins.
Oh, I didn't know he had 2.
You didn't ask. You just kind of accepted what Greg said. It was interesting.
He threatened me.
Yeah, he does that a lot. And appropriately, he is known as the Butcher in the Empire. All right. So yes, last time we left off, that all that went on. The party had decided to kind of stick around for the time being, with Zaya and Cyrus starting to bond somewhat through telepathy of the message spell, and Captain admitting that he was and always has been a skeleton. Oh, and someone killed his cook, but that's a part no one cares about.
Skeletor.
I mean, and just for those who are wondering, Captain doesn't like it when we bully Cameron, so we've started bullying him instead. Alright, so that's where we last left off. The night had come. Zaya had tried to figure out a bunch of stuff. Gaul has gone off on his own thing to do his own thing, although he has been listed as a court jester. And the party currently still remains inside the Silver Song Manor, a two-story manor in which multiple rooms have been set up. Much of the tieflings are starting to build houses out and around it. Farmland is starting to pop up, and an overall little town shanty is kind of evolving around the Silver Song Manor. The time is 7 p.m. The wind is slight. The season is summer, and it is nice and warm out currently.
Where do I know where Tikva is currently?
You haven't seen Tikva the entire afternoon.
I'm gonna go look for her because she seems to have taken up like being an overseer, and I want to discuss the upcoming Church of Magwar.
Okay. Malthor, is there anything you wish to do?
I'll just stick to Zaya just in case someone makes an attempt on her life. First Empress and all. That's highly probable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cyrus?
I will probably do something similar.
Okay.
An
And
entourage.
the Great Skeletor?
Oh, come on, don't call me that.
Would you rather Captain Barbosa?
You know, yeah, I fucking
no.
would.
First Captain Jack Sparrow.
Honestly, Jack Sparrow is more of his personality. But the captain is just going to try to find a local tavern so he can just chill in the environment that he prefers.
Alright, we'll start with Captain's little offgoing. While the party goes in search of Tikva, Captain, you find yourself a small, shantily built, rather rush built tavern where you see a tiefling in there working, cleaning some cups, pouring some dark drinks that smell of a very strong grain. A few tieflings seem to be in and about, joking and laughing, and the overall atmosphere of the place is actually a pretty good mood. As you walk in, taking a seat at the main stool, right at the bar, the bartender slides you down a drink of what looks to be a red liquid, smiles and nods, and just kind of walks back to goes back to doing what he was doing.
I set a couple of coins out in front of me, in front of the drink, and I take a swig of what he offered.
Okay, as you take a long drag on the drink, it tastes of cinnamon and has a slight spicier aftertaste. You feel the warmness going down your throat and a relaxation almost hit you. As the doors behind you open up and a warm
Oh,
wind
no.
blows at your back,
Oh no.
in comes Tikva, who sits
Oh,
down,
okay.
and beside her is Gaul,
God.
smiling with his arm around her. They both order a drink. Gaul looks at you, looks at the drink, and then and points to you, and then sets another coin down, which another round is brought over to you, and then goes back to pleasantly talking to Tikva.
My cousin, why? Tikva, you died. Your tastes have become so poor.
I don't say anything to Gaul or Tikva. I just simply like gesture like a small salute, like as a thank you to Gaul for the extra drink.
He gives you a thumbs up and continues talking to Tikva. I heard that.
I felt that.
That was amazing.
What did he do?
He smacked himself in the forehead.
Okay, Jesus, continue on. Someone else's story. I just want a drink.
Go in the ocean. There's lots of water.
Oh,
Skeletor needs his drink.
That's not palatable water. DM, please
Yes.
continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. I'm enjoying this. All right. Enjoying your drink. Zaya, Malthor, and Cyrus, as you continue walking about, you can see that progress is actually being made at a high regard. Many houses are being built rather quickly, although they're not as beautiful as the stone and properly carpentered wooden houses back in the capital. Many people seem happy as families are moving in. You do have some soldiers marching about, many of them in mixed match of leather and plate and chainmail, as well as a mixed match of armor and armor and weapons. Jesus. Many of them seem to have their own little sigils from different noble houses and such, most likely from places they've been or they used to serve. The farming fields are starting to already sprout a little bit of green in them. And overall, the night is cool and the roads are quite comfortable to walk. And it seems overall quiet, minus the few taverns that have popped up that have been that people are lively chatting in.
Seeing Gaul with Tikva, I will establish the link, Maya.
All right, as Cyrus manages to catch the sight of Gaul and Tikva heading into one of the taverns off in the distance, messaging to Zaya, what do you say to her, Cyrus?
I just let her know that the link's active. Basically, hey, link's active in case we need it.
Zaya gives like a tail swish in like recognition, but just doesn't say anything more. She's like
Yeah, 'cause
just
I did-
looking around, watching the rebuilding process,
Yeah.
seeing the progress made.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did that telepathically, so nobody else heard it.
Okay. One of the guards seems to eye up Tikva as he walks by, or not Tikva, Zaya as he walks by. Kind of sees the switch of the tail, and you, Cyrus, for a second with your much better perception than most of the party, catch the man seems to be. You're not sure if he was checking out the queen or if he was just legitimately noticing her movement.
I will attempt to make notes, so if I can recognize him in the future.
All right. As you go along, continuing your walk around, many guards continue to pass by. Many citizens seem to nod and wave or come up and talk to you about the normal day to day that's been going on. Mention from one of the new merchants that has popped up that a wall will soon be added, and the forest that's more on the outskirts of the manor will be pushed back even further, just so that way no incoming people, whether they be Rakshasa or Tieflings, are not sighted. You can see guard towers are
Yeah.
popping up left and right. Otherwise, it's overall a peaceful evening.
Yeah. I think Tikva will
Zaya.
acknowledge people, or yes, yeah, sorry. Zaya will acknowledge people, and she'll make the small talk and ask about progress, and she's probably like eyeing up like the layout they have. Like she probably finds some guards or like construction workers and asks them like what the defense plans are. Are they planning to add magical defenses? Yada yada. Kind of light overseeing, but mostly she's just enjoying being back home and enjoying the lovely weather.
Okay.
Malthar will whisper into Tigva's ear about the idea of churches, as well as
Zaya.
there should be multiple.
Mm-hmm.
I said Zaya.
He did.
And
Zaya.
if they're going to incorporate magical defenses, they should be built into the wall. That way, if it destroys, it causes an explosion.
Zaya will kind of look over at Malthor and be like, should probably find a head cleric to deal with the religion. Although I did have a concern about churches, but I can't find Tikva, it seems. Do I know if there's like a person who's sort of like a head cleric or a head religious person I could talk to, or like a head construction worker who I could give the church plans to?
You have yet to be introduced to any of the people in charge of anything at this point.
Okay. Can I find a nearby worker, like a construction worker or a guard, just someone?
Could ask
I'm approach. Pardon, I have important business. Is there a person I can talk to concerning the construction of a very important building?
The worker looks up and goes, important. Yeah, I think Gaul's in charge of most of the construction around here.
Do you know where he might be?
Last time I saw him, he was giving the thumbs up to some half elf, I think he was.
Pirate looking?
You know, now that you say it, he did look like a pirate without a ship.
Do you know where this was at?
And he points behind him up a few streets and says, "There's a bar that's been built up down there. That's where I last saw him. Something about some fire whiskey."
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. And Zaya will turn and walk, and when she's out of view, she'll just like kind of like pinch her brow and just be like sigh heavily and start walking towards the bar.
Mal will follow and be laughing that Gaul's in charge of everything. And making
Yeah,
jokes on it.
apparently.
All right.
You say it's funny, but do you have confidence Gaul will be good with churches, Malthor, being the religious man you are?
I actually had some really good whiskey last night.
I got some brandy for you.
I think he'll do fine so long as he follows the tenets of whatever god you choose. I won't be worshipping there.
Speaking
of, course,
of, I don't. DM,
Hmm.
since Malthor became a god and whatever, he hasn't given me like any commandments, right? He hasn't been like, these are the rules of my religion, right?
Nope.
No, so
I didn't become a
Zaya
god,
has
Malthor
no
did not
idea.
become a god.
What was that, Malthor?
Not Malthor, I meant
Since Malthor
Mogwar.
became a god, I'm like, when did I become a god?
Why is your name similar to the Kraken's?
Because it's an homage.
Change
to the
it.
player.
Legal decree.
No,
Yes.
I'm not a citizen of your land. I am but a guest.
As you guys
Ah.
continue to discuss back and forth, Zaya giving Malthor problems about his name being too close to the god she worships. Cyrus listening to all of this, and watching ever vigilant. Cyrus, you catch that guard earlier that you just happened to make note of. Seems to kind of be following you guys at a distance. Almost, he seems to be walking a route, but always looking towards your direction.
Okay. When we saw him, was he like stationed somewhere, kind of posted guard, or just wandering around
He
on
seems to be
patrol?
He seems to be walking on a patrol with another one other guard, but it seems that his eyes are always on your guys' direction.
Yeah, paying attention.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I will telepathically mention to Zaya that we seem to be followed by some guards. Specifically, one keeps watching us. It might be nothing, but it might be something.
Okay, Zaya's gonna respond. She's not gonna look in the direction of the guard, obviously, but she'll respond. Keep an eye on him. If you can tell Malthor, I think once we get into the bar, we should double check and make sure they are following us with ill intent.
Will do.
And she'll just keep walking, but now she's like kind of less enjoying the scenery and she's tense again because she's been kidnapped too many times to not think someone following her is a ill omen.
As you finally make it to the tavern, the guard seems to have, at this point, vanished out of your sight, Cyrus. It seems that he was following a common footpath that you noticed some of the other
Okay.
guards were. Continuing on though, as you finally make it there, opening the door to the shanty little bar where it's more just planks of wood nailed to each other, barely holding up. You see a captain about 4 mugs in of what looks to be a very dark red liquid. You see Tikva sitting there, and you immediately recognize Gaul, who's also sitting there laughing and joking. Tikva and him seem to be having a great time. Captain looks absolutely miserable.
Zaya's just gonna glance at Captain, feel a bit of sympathy, but show nothing, and then just walk over to Gaul. Excuse me, I hate to disturb your evening, but I have business I wish to bring up with you, Gaul.
He gives you a thumbs up and smiles over at Captain.
Ricard face
Bar.
Finds desk,
Face to
smacks
face.
face into desk.
Zaya's just gonna keep pretending that Captain's not having a mental breakdown right beside her and be like, part of the reason I managed to survive long enough to become Empress was due to my patron, Mogwar, the Kraken, who I believe has ascended to godhood. I wish to build a church, maybe nothing too big, but something in dedication to him, to appease him and thank him, and spread word of him. I was told you were ahead of construction.
Yes, I'm also the head of the Merchants Guild. I'm in charge of the fishermen, the farms, the money.
Wonderful. Then I'm not sure the city plans. I haven't been shown any documents, but I would like. It's not top priority, of course. I'm sure we need homes rebuilt and everything. But once we are stable, I wish a small church, maybe a statue built in his honor.
He looks at you, nods, and goes, "All right." And he pulls out a piece of paper from his back pocket, and what looks to be more of a stick made of lead, and starts drawing on it. As he hands it to you, looking it over, it's a full drop of the town as is, and from what it looks like, he has designed 2 churches, one on each side of the town, one that he's labeled as Mugwar, and the other that's listed as Calfell. And he says, "Will that do?"
Yes, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And Tikva, of course, I don't mean to disturb you while you are on break, but perhaps when you are done, if there is anyone else in charge of something, excluding Gaul, I would like to meet them. I need to make these connections as soon as possible.
Gaul looks up at you and smiles and says, "You do know she's my wife, right?"
She, Zaya, like, visibly freezes
And
at
you,
that.
it's at that moment, you notice there's a massive diamond ring on Tikva's finger.
Zaya,
Okay,
you hear
Cyrus,
basically
how
a
does the
mental facepalm.
telepathic... Cyrus, how does the telepathic link? Is it always active? Like you can kind of sense Zaya's emotions, or is it only when she willingly speaks to you?
I guess kind of up to the DM, but I picture it as basically it's like a radio channel you can flip to, so you could.
Because currently in her mind, Zaya's like screaming, freaking out, like
just-
fire. The place is on fire. So if you can sense that, but on the outside, she's just looking surprised, and then she like gives a smile, and she's like, I was not aware. Congratulations. I suppose my blessings as Empress, for your union."
And Gaul just smiles at you and says, "Yeah, we were waiting for the captain to give us a thumbs up on, and we're gonna have him marry us again on the ship. But I mean, you know how
With
that
that,
went."
the captain quickly sits up from the bar, walks towards the door, slams the door open, and leaves.
Roll a d20 see if you break the door.
No, shut up, Gary. Gaul looks at you and says, "I guess that's a thumbs down."
Yeah, I don't think he'll be officiating any weddings, but good luck on that.
No, that was actually really smart of you, DM. Captains of ships are capable of wedlock.
Yes, I'm
Mhm.
familiar with the
Oh.
old rules of pirate, being a pirate. I studied into them a lot historically.
So with that, Zaya's gonna leave and try to find Captain and make sure he doesn't, I don't know, start burning down buildings out of anger.
Gaul looks at you and says, "Hey," and he tosses you something, Zaya.
I'll catch it.
As you grab it, it's what you recognize. It's a thumb. It's the thumb of a crystal giant, which means it looks like a crystal rock. It's shaped like
Does
a
it have
thumb.
any magical use or
You
like
don't know.
ingredient use? Does it count as just like a gem or a crystal?
It is a crystal.
It's a thumb.
Then I'll keep it, and I'll just kind of give Gaul a smile of thanks as I leave.
He nods and
Where do
goes
you
back
find
to
those
talking.
thumbs?
Crystals are useful and are expensive.
He looks at Malthor and smiles and goes up to him and whispers, "It's the thumb that was up the captain's ass before he ran out." And goes back and sits down.
Goes back to
Yeah,
my
Zaya's
thumb.
looking for Captain. Looking for the trail of the angry pirate.
Captain, is there anywhere you're specifically going to be storming off to?
Yes, there is actually.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the nearest training area?
There, you can't find one, as you're not as familiar with the area.
I go to one of the guards then and ask the same question.
The guy goes to you and looks at you and says, "You must be the famous Captain Ricard."
It was not made to my attention that I was made famous.
Yeah,
But
you
I
fought the
bet-
god dragon Sabel and beat him almost in single combat, from what we heard.
Yes, I did.
He smiles and he says, Gaul told us all about it. He said that you shoved your thumb, and he kind of starts to make a motion. And he goes, "Oh."
I take one of my swords out of my sheath and stab it into the ground. I say, "No."
Then he goes, "Oh, wait. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean no? I mean Gaul. Gaul knows it all. I mean he's such a smart. He's one of the smartest men of the kingdom."
Okay, I keep my hand firmly placed on my cutlass, not trying to do anything, and I simply ask, "Where is the nearest training area, please?"
I mean, for the man who killed a dragon with his thumb, I don't know if our training dummies will be enough for you.
They will suffice.
He just looks you in the eye. All right. Back toward the back of the manor. We've got some training dummies set up though. Just don't
Yes.
use your magic thumb on them, please. We know you are.
Before he finishes, I pick up my cutlass, put it back in my sheath, and I keep going.
Is Zaya like following him, or do I have to make a roll?
After a few minutes, you do see him having a conversation with a guard. You don't you too far away to catch it as you, Malthor, and Cyrus start heading that way, continuing to chase after Captain. He seems to be angrily rushing off towards the back of the manor.
Okay, I'll follow. I'll still follow. Giving him some distance, letting him angrily stomp his way forward, but I am following.
Cyrus, you recognize the guard that Captain was talking to as the one that's been eyeing Zaya the entire night,
Okay.
as he continues to do so when you guys pass by.
Is Cyrus gonna let me know?
Yeah, as we approach, I will telepathically give the description of the guard.
Zaya's gonna glance over. I want to memorize the face of the guard, and she'll just politely smile as though greeting them as she passes.
He waves.
And I want to, yeah, I want to do I recognize him, or
Yeah,
do I
you
now know his face?
He looks very familiar with his deeper brown hair, his brown tail. His skin seems to be kind of a brownish black color. His eyes golden. And he looks very familiar to you, but you just can't seem to
Gold.
place it.
Golden eyes.
Correct.
Can I do an insight check on him?
Okay.
I 18.
Malthor, what?
Glaring at the guard.
Okay. As you look, as you kind of check him out, he doesn't seem to have any ill intent towards you.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
Zaya just politely smiles and nods and passes, but she stays on alert, like looking at her peripherals if she sees him following her.
Cyrus?
Do I know what the golden eyes mean at this point yet, or am I not quite certain?
Give me a intelligence check at this point. Let's
When
see if
Ben
this is something that
was
sticks
around
out.
alive, we told him about the Rakshasa, didn't we?
I don't
You guys
recall.
did.
Ben?
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. You remember the significance of gold eyes is typically common amongst Rakshasa.
Okay.
Yeah, which overtook the lands not too
Yeah.
long ago.
The tiefling just smiles at you, Cyrus, and waves.
I nod back as I
Okay.
telepathically say to Zaya, "Do you recognize them, or do we need to worry?"
He looks familiar, but I don't trust him. The golden eyes are a sign usually of Rakshasa, and they overtook the Tiefling lands not too long ago, killing everyone disguising themselves as Tieflings. So I would like to keep an eye on that one, but I don't sense anything ill from him. It could just be coincidence.
Noted.
Alright.
But she'll just keep walking after Captain.
Okay. As you guys eventually catch up to Captain, you see Captain beating a what's the word I'm looking for? A dummy of sorts made of wow, hay. There we go. A hay bale dummy just smashing into the thing, yelling about something or other that you really can't decipher from the loud hits on this thing, cutting into it multiple times.
Captain! Captain Ricard! Zaya's gonna call as she enters the training area and head towards him.
How close are you?
I'm staying at least 10 feet away. She's gonna give him space until he stops swinging.
Trust me, yell a bit louder.
Captain!
Gaul comes around the corner, goes, "Yeah."
Not sorry,
decapitate
Gaul.
Fucking dummy, and then I leave my sword there.
Gaul kind of looks at you and looks at all of you and goes, Captain, you alright, man? You kind of left after that round. I figured you were upset about something."
I'm gonna ignore Gaul and I'm gonna walk over to Captain and just kind of lightly touch his shoulder and be like, "It's the more you react to it, the more power you will give him. It might be difficult, but it'd be best to let this pass. let it wash over you like water, and if you need to take your anger out, I'm willing to be your sparring partner. I need the training myself. And I pull out my normal rapier as I say this.
I point at the dummy. You sure about that?
If you assassinate the queen, I believe you'll have more issues than I will with being dead. But
I do not wish
yes,
to kill you, but I do not wish to hurt you as well.
I've been hurt before. I can take it.
Gaul smacks Cyrus on the back and goes, I think they're having a bit of a lover's quarrel already.
I thought Zaya had something going with Cyrus.
Is there something
Hmm.
like a fence or something near Gaul?
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
Cyrus
well,
will.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Captain.
roll 18 to throw a dagger at Gaul's feet.
Okay.
That hits.
Cool.
As
Does that shut him up?
roll damage, please.
Oh no.
For like at his feet, not on his foot.
I know. You heard me though.
Okay. All right. 1 second. 7 total damage. I rolled high.
All right. He looks at you and says, "Wow, that's damaging to the dirt. We just had that landscaped."
Come on, son. You shouldn't.
Zaya's just gonna like look at Cyrus and Malthor, like give him a look like, can you please distract him, as she holds her rapier and waits for Captain to take a stance.
Walking over
I will
to
nod.
pick my knife back up, then to the dummy to grab my sword that is embedded in the dummy.
Gaul
then-
suddenly puts his sword to your throat, Captain, and looks at you and smiles. You want to threaten the captain here?
Gaul, I understand his actions are rash, but please do not put the throat to him. He's a trusted ally.
He's gonna have to do a whole lot worse than slit a throat. It's fine.
He looks to you. He looks at Zaya and says, "The only reason you're empress right now is because of your cousin, not because of that crown. The only reason the people are here are because of me, not that crown. Understand this."
I'm gonna insight Gaul. I want to see if he's secretly power hungry, because I do not like this guy and I do not trust him. That's an 11.
He is not. He doesn't seem the type to be power hungry from what you're figuring.
So he doesn't want the crown for himself. He just doesn't like me or Captain or just doesn't want me to be Empress.
You don't know. That wasn't what you rolled insight for.
I understand that me coming across the crown was almost luck, but I do have it, and until that changes and a more suitable ruler comes, I do have some amount of authority. And she like gestures to like the land around them, and I would like the allies who I trust, who have helped me and kept me alive, to not be killed. I don't agree with him throwing a dagger at you, but it's not like you have not been instigating him all night, making thumb references. You know, he is sensitive.
Oh, I know. So was his cook. And he smiles at Captain.
Excuse me, I have some business to take care of in real life.
No worries.
Did
Jesus.
you just break something?
Pick your hand.
Hello, I'm back.
You feel better now?
Malthor,
Shh.
I thought your gnome friend killed the captain.
I heard her
Cook.
scream in that direction. That's all I know. I assume that's where he went.
So I'm gonna mentally tell Cyrus, like, give him like an alarm signal. Hey, Gaul's either evil or trying to make Captain angry, so just be ready to intervene. And I switch my normal rapier for my Vorpal rapier.
I'll just reply back, noted. I heard the comment.
What, Malthor?
I want to convince everybody to calm down. So
Oh, Ricard
Yeah.
didn't do shit. That
I've
was
been trying to. Can I roll like persuasion or something? Zaya just does not want this Have
Yeah,
I'm
Malthor, your mic is really bad though. That's why it's
Yeah.
hard to hear you, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
You're
trying to
quiet.
fix it.
I'm
Yeah.
not trying to keep going. Like I said, I
No, you're
went back
fine.
to the dummy to get my stuff, and I was going into a fighting stance for Zaya again.
Yeah, Zaya's like, but Gaul's the
How's-
one who came up and he put a sword to your throat.
how's
So
this
Zaya's
now?
like
A
trying
little
to
bit better,
de-escalate.
yeah. I can hear you. Malthor, you wanted to roll persuasion? Go ahead.
Hope I took proficiency in that.
Don't let the charismatic bard roll persuasion. Okay.
Hey, I had a +5 charisma too, so
He is a
I
paladin.
have a high persuasion, my dude, and I don't say that lightly.
You guys ever get like 3 aneurysms on the same day?
Nat 20
No.
+5.
Alright.
Just me?
What are you gonna try and say to him to persuade him?
You'll need to just calm down. I'll make great jokes.
We can't hear you.
Malthor,
Yeah,
what
you
realm
kinda
are
Son
you
of a-
in?
Not
Oh, wait.
ours.
Hey, does this fix it?
No, not really.
Just turn his volume
about
up. That's what I
now?
did, and it
I
helps pretty
I
have
good.
him on
did, but
200.
I still can't. Yeah, I still can't hear him good.
Why is my mic
Talk
being-
louder.
Wait. Go ahead.
How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, that fixed it. Okay, guys, let's just calm down. Gaul, you make amazing jokes, and you find amazing thumbs. We just need to calm down, as this angry child that just walked into the training area for some reason is here.
Gaul puts his longsword away, taking it away from Captain's throat. He just smiles and says, "Eh, not my business."
Does he walk away?
No, he's still standing there. He's still staring Captain in the eyes, just looking at him.
Now,
Captain is
That's-
not looking at Gaul.
Oh,
Yeah,
just-
Zaya's gonna like hold her normal rapier up and be like, I don't mind if you guys watch, but if you are going to watch a spar, could you please do it from a distance, a safe distance? Thank you.
safe for you or safe
she's
for
like,
us? Because
both.
from what I've seen so far, you're
And
not exactly a very good
Zaya's
swordswoman.
gonna like
That-
lock
that
eyes with
rapier's tied in a
Captain,
knot.
and I don't know if but with her bard charisma, just kind of give him like a, please ignore him look, like trying to help calm him down.
Captain has been focused directly on you since he was in that stance.
Okay, so
He didn't even
do
look
we
at
roll
Gaul.
initiative or who goes first, or how's the sparring going?
No, I'll let this deal out as Captain and
No one to the
Zaya.
Empress that her normal rapier is tied in a knot.
As
It's
Captain and
not.
Zaya begin sparring at each other, Gaul eventually just walks away, leaving. I assume Cyrus and Malthor backing off just enough to get out of the
Yeah.
range of the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
keep guard.
After a few minutes of continuous bout, one after another, the two finally start to finally, feel more relieved and less stressed out from anger, at least in Captain's regard.
Does
And
Zaya
eventually-
get better at fighting?
Zaya, more of what you learn is that Captain's a lot faster and more agile than you are.
Mhm.
And after a few minutes, finally finding yourselves at the end of the sparring match, Captain, you feel much better. Zaya, you've learned a few things about fighting pirates.
Sweet. I
Maybe
need the
I should train
experience.
the new Empress a bit.
Yeah, if you ever need tactics on how to fight, well, I suppose me or my kin, feel free to ask anytime.
Well,
My fight
I've
style
been-
is a little different than most since I carry 2 cutlasses. They typically only go
yes,
for 1.
yeah, I've noticed, but I can greatly use the fighting experience. I've been vulnerable for too long, and I fear, as a new empress, if I don't get stronger sooner, I will surely fall victim to another kidnapping or death. So I guess if any of you, if we ever have the time to spar, I greatly need it.
I'll need to pick up a regular longsword then, but okay. I can train you a bit.
Well, maybe the training
I'd
grounds
rather-
have something.
I'd rather not use, and I point to my dragon. like my
Yeah,
that
there's
was-
a reason
one.
I have.
that only gets unsheathed when they want to kill people.
Yeah,
For
there's a reason
reasons.
I'm not using my preferred rapier, and she touches the handle of the rapier that Captain borrowed, the vorpal rapier.
Yeah. The only quote unquote fancy bit about my cutlasses is that they used to belong to my old pirate captain.
Yeah. Okay, so anything to roll, or are we
Nope, you're
just
good.
good old sparring session? She'll kind of gently touch Captain on the shoulder again and be like, I mean it. I don't like how much power this Gaul guy has either, or that he's marrying my cousin, but because of his power, if you are to openly show aggression, I fear what may become of you and what may become of me if I defend you. So please, I ask you to do your best to ignore him.
Cycle of power is simple to do. Since he has
I
too much, you can easily
truly
start
hope you
distributing among people
understand.
you trust.
I'm not the one instigating.
I am well aware. I don't approve of his actions at all, but until I can find a way to spread the power out and get other people in place, he is a foe that in these delicate times it would not be a good one to fight.
A necessary evil.
Until I know how powerful he is physically and his true reach of political power, I don't want you going up against him.
Understandable. And
And if you ever need to calm down, I'm here to spar, or if not, I am sure I can, as Empress, can declare a space private for you to have. If you need to go to the ocean, I have ways with the water. I'm sure I could do something, clear
Is
you
that
a
from
spot
your
on the
god?
beach.
I would
The
appreciate
Kraken,
that.
yes. Yes, of course. And if as soon as I can, Captain, I will get you a ship. I can't
Oh,
guarantee it'll be good, but I'll try to get you one.
that is a big promise. And with that, I give you a gold coin, and I gesture towards a dummy, and I say, "Sorry about that."
It is hay, but the coin is appreciated. She'll just kind of give a little smile and pocket it because I am not against cold.
I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm a pirate captain with a crew to pay. I better not be broke
Well,
or have a crew to pay.
You had a crew pay.
Saya's just not been able to go shopping for many times, so she just has money saved up.
I have a lot of stuff, I just don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Zaya, where do you think I'd be able to leave this chest in your guys' in the treasury here? Because carting it around can be kind of dangerous. Or could we put it in something?
Well,
Because what's in this is more dangerous than any of us here.
Oh,
if it is
yeah.
dangerous, I would find somewhere more safe, perhaps sacred, to hide it. I don't know who's in charge of the treasury, but if it's
I'm gonna
Gaul,
guess Gaul. Oh,
Yes,
you,
we-
Captain.
So
Um,
if
I'm
you
gonna
put
take
it
the chest
somewhere,
off my back, and I'm gonna set
No.
it down. Take a look at it if you'd like.
Malthor, if you need to hide it somewhere in the ocean, I'm sure with my connection to
No,
Magwar and all.
this thing. If there's anything in the ocean that's sentient,
What?
it'll talk to it, and
Wait.
it's gonna be bad.
What is it? If it's bad, and she kind of like touches Captain's shoulder like a bit defensively, if it's bad, why are you letting Captain get close to it?
Because it has to speak with him. It says it
So
wanted
an
to be wielded
evil
by
thing-
him. Not evil, misconstrued maybe, and a bit cocky, but not evil.
I'll
So
be
it's a
fine.
sentient object.
Yeah, it's known as gravel thresh.
I go to open the
Bravothresh, do I know anything about that, DM?
roll history.
Okay, because like Zaya does not like the idea of sentient. 17.
17.
I have had my fair share of curses, so I don't really mind a talking object. I just
This
like
is gonna
kind
be
of
a
roll it
bit
off my shoulders.
worse. This thing is powerful, and I'll need to borrow it when we get a hold of
Then,
Zopip, because it's gonna be perfect
DM,
for golfing.
So
nothing.
as you start to, as you search your immediate memory, you've never heard of this weapon. You've never heard of an item like this. Historically,
Yeah.
tieflings don't use hammers. In fact, it's very unheard of
Hmm.
to find a tiefling who would use a hammer of this size or girth, if you will.
Can I incite Captain to see his mental state, especially after the anger he had, if it would be good for him to get the possession of a talking weapon that could potentially corrupt him?
I can tell you how I feel right now if you want. You can just ask.
Well, I got a 17 to insight, so tell me how Captain's feeling.
Well, after sparring, and now that Gaul is away, he isn't angry anymore. He's relieved. If anything, he's like kind of emotion blank after all that. Just
Af-
kind of
After all the deaths and stuff with Grim Legacy, is he still okay? Do I sense any sense of insanity or like
that
brokenness
was
that could?
only day one. So
Okay.
Ricard, being undead, has had his share of
All right.
almost permanent death, and
Then
it only really messes with him like as it happens. But he kind of gets his footing back after a little while.
okay. Zaya will like just take a step away and kind of let Captain go, but she'll give him a pointed look and say, "Be careful." And I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration and just let him deal with the sentient, potentially evil hammer, but and kind of keep watch a bit away, a bit cautiously.
Be
Oh.
careful though. It is a bit of a bitch.
You do so you give him the hammer?
I'm letting him lift it up. If anything bad happens, I'm not afraid to cut off his hand and reattach it.
Nothing seems to
Yeah, the
happen.
whole hand.
The weapon goes silent or is not making any noise. Although, Captain, it's a little heavy, you notice, but otherwise it's, not the worst
I'm gonna
thing.
say you might want to try talking to it. It's telepathic, so just yell at it from your mind.
Me having little to no experience with most magic, I just say in my head, and I kind of look around. It's kind of clear that I'm trying to do something. I just go, hello? In my head.
You hear nothing.
I rest the hammer on my shoulder and say I don't hear anything.
Well, that's a first. Normally, that's a very talkative little bitch.
Is it a good sign that it is quiet?
No clue. Last time I talked to it was when we were on our way here, and I pulled it out to tell it that I was going to use it to kill a gnome.
Do you have a picture of
Maybe
this
two.
hammer?
I just
Yeah,
added it to your inventory.
Can I
Captain.
Arcana check this hammer?
Yeah?
I want to sense magic on it because if
Sure.
it's cursed, I got 14.
You put the hammer in my inventory?
Yeah, I already gave it to your character sheet. Just refresh your
I'll
character
If you
sheet.
want, I'll keep my chest though, cause it's my chest.
14.
Is it a good weapon for a rogue to have?
Well,
yeah,
that's what
14.
I'm about to look at.
That's not what you get
And-
when you roll Arcana. This thing has a lot of magic.
It's powerful. It was made by one of the gods of the world, the blacksmith god.
Oh, a godly weapon. You just casually have this.
I'm holding on to it to kill Zilpip. It's about the only thing I think that will, other than my sword. And personally, if I'm going to use it, I'd like to use it for
Captain?
gnome golfing.
As you put
yes?
the hammer on your shoulder, for the rest of you, you just kind of see Captain, like he seems to be acting normal, just kind of standing there as you guys are talking. But Captain, what you see is suddenly something very different. Suddenly you find yourself on those open seas, a giant, beautiful ship beneath you, a full war frigate, fully stacked to the nines, gold, even some slight gold plating on the cannons, just for decoration. A full crew who seem to be bearing your sigil. Your cook smiling as he's bringing out food and handing it off to the different members. All seems great as you look down and see that much of your own captain's quarters is filled with treasure to the brim. You're richer than you've ever been, and you can even see the corpse of the man who almost got you killed, standing at the bow of being tied to the bow of your ship. And all suddenly comes back, where you're now staring at Cyrus, Malthor, and Zaya as they're talking amongst each other.
I'll offer up. Do you need me to take a look at that? I can always identify it if need be.
That might be a good idea.
Probably wouldn't hurt to do that, but I can tell you one thing. It was the man's daughter. He turned her into a weapon, and she was willing for it.
Anyone willing to become a weapon cannot be sane of mind.
I can't say she is, but it is powerful, and it can only grow in power.
I don't let go of the hammer, but I take it off my shoulder and I, like with my hand still on it, have it resting on the ground. Like cock my head to the side and just turn to Malthor and say, "Are visions normal?"
I didn't have one, though. I just was having a very mildly pleasant conversation with it the other night. My master gave it to me and told me only use it to kill Silver Thread, and one other enemy I told him I'd use it to kill.
And I turned to Zaya. Can't remember how to fucking say it at the moment.
Zaya.
Zaya, goddamn. I saw my old ship, my old crew, but much, much better for wear, and just a lot
That
of gold.
sounds like perhaps your dream, your wishes, your drive, but if it's showing you that, it's either making a promise or tempting you. And if it is tempting you, I dare say it may not be good. Just say cautious, Captain, please. You become under possession of a hammer, it would not do good.
I am fully aware, and I appreciate the concern.
I personally think we should, if it's so powerful weapon, we should keep it safe until we need it to fight a powerful foe, but it is not my hammer, it's up to you two. And she gestures to Captain Malthor. This is your business. Just be careful with it
Long as
inside the castle.
As long as it gets buried inside a Zilpip's skull, I don't care one way or the other. I do have to use it to smash the shit out of Silver Thread too, but if you help me with that as well, you can keep it.
Zaya seems to still, and
Yes,
her
Cyrus.
eyes glaze over.
Is the hammer 5 pounds or less?
It's a
It
regular
is.
warhammer, so it's versatile. So
Yeah.
it would be.
Okay.
DM,
Yes.
would this, with the psychic link, telepathic
No.
link with
No.
Cyrus? Okay, so, alright. Zaya just kind of blinks and eyes the hammer.
But remember, this is its weakest state. My master said it had three states. The state it's in, its next state, and a final state. He'd only ever gotten it to the second state, and when that happened, he didn't remember how it got back to the first state. So, be careful.
Yeah, Cyrus will offer up again. I can identify it, and today I can't recall it quickly, but if it needs to be recalled quickly, I can prepare another little trick that I have that can hide this in a little pocket dimension if you wanted to have it somewhere safe.
That would probably be best, but
I have a bag of holding on me.
Captain.
That would work too.
And I look over to Zaya.
Zaya just kind of looks at him and just be careful, but perhaps don't take my word for it, but I think it might be good for you to hang on to the hammer. For now, just be cautious. All that glitters is not gold. All that seems good may not be good. What? Just be careful. And she just kind of rubs her head and her eyes.
He's a pirate. He has to be careful. You should be fine. The only reason I'm trusting him with it.
Well, just after all that's happened.
Go by honor, and I see that he is an honorable one, even if he is a skeleton on the inside.
I worry about people corrupting that honor, though. I've seen corruption.
Have I?
Simply, with Malthor's permission, gesture to put the hammer in my bag of holding.
I go right ahead. It makes it easier to carry, honestly. My chest is already heavy enough keeping it on my back.
And I do so.
As you go to put in the bag of holding, your hand stops.
Uh-oh.
Okay. In what sense?
And the fact that the hammer, as you're right about to put the hammer into, the hammer's head is about to go into the bag of holding, your hand fully stops before it can manage to.
Okay, I try to pull my hand back to see if I can still move.
You can. It still moves. It moves back.
I'm gonna try and take the hammer out of his hand and put it into his bag for him.
Yeah, try to swap it with another weapon.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Yeah, so
I'm just checking.
I had a feeling this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Does a 22 hit, Malthor?
No, it does not.
Alright, as Malthor manages to move his head out of the way, Captain suddenly swings on him.
Uh-oh. That needs removed. That's...
Okay,
Chest
Captain, hold.
open now.
I open the chest up and I set it down and I hold it. I set it on the ground. Just
I put the
Put it
hammer in
back
the
in.
chest.
The hammer does not leave your hand. Your hand will not open.
Everyone back
You're
up.
you're a paladin, Malthor. Don't you have a spell for this? Removing curses.
It does not like magic. Don't do it.
Right now I don't have one ready.
Can you...
I try to put the hammer down onto the ground and stand on top of it.
You managed to. It still stays in your
Okay.
hand.
That's fine. I'm not trying to let go at this point. Just trying to not swing at people.
We could cut his hand off.
No,
don't.
that's... Captain,
Wait,
I...
I might have a way of doing this. Let me think.
With my
Captain?
left hand, I'm trying to peel my other hand open.
It doesn't
Yeah,
seem to
I
work.
did not want to bring it up. I didn't think, but now that things are escalating, I don't trust this hammer. Although I will say, Captain, I saw the vision you saw, and I don't know what this means. I've seen into the future before. I don't know if this is a real future. So this hammer, it seems like it could bring you good things, but it also looks like it's going to come at a cost. So you need to consider that. It's obviously your choice, but if it's not letting go, it doesn't seem good.
You begin to hear a voice,
Who
Captain.
does? Oh, okay.
A woman's voice at first, that somewhat goes deeper on occasion. It begins to speak, and it explains. You have two choices. Take this hammer and fulfill your destiny. Or kill the one known as Malthor that stands in front of you, using it. Those are your two choices. Should you refuse, you will die here and now. And face a fate far worse than a common death.
I say out loud, "What the hell is my fate?"
You see a vision again. Now you stand upon another war frigate, similar to the one that you had seen earlier, with gold-plated cannons, a fully decked-out crew, 4 ships as you look behind you, following you, showing the same colors, all in your own fleet. Your cook coming up and speaking to you, calling you Admiral rather than Captain. You see a brimming hold or hull full of gold. Wearing a long black cape, or cloak if you will, made of what you assume is some sort of wolf's fur. The head of Zopip on your belt. Potions all around. Magical crystals going up and down your chest. More power than you could ever know what to do with. You see one of your crew members coming up to you and asking you questions about the story of how you helped Zaya Ravensong rebuild a greater and more prosperous Tiefling lands. How you helped establish and figure out the truth behind Cyrus Galadron and who he really was and who he really would become. Helping Malthor slay the the evil demon known as Zopip in single combat. And lastly, on the stern of the ship, you see with the biggest smile, Gaul, in nothing but peasant's clothing, with a bunch of thumbs wrapped around his neck, in almost a choking-like manner. That seems to tighten every time he begins to crack a joke. And then you stand before, once again, Zaya, Malthor, and Cyrus.
Captain,
That
are you
You okay?
alright?
is your fate.
Let it be. Thing tells the truth. I can't lie. Sad thing.
I do not address any of my party members out loud, but I simply say in my head, what is the cost?
It waits a second. Silence is heard as Captain continues to stand there. Captain, you begin to hear a secondary voice. There are two things that you must do for me. First, you must kill the one known as Zopip. And secondly, you must destroy the one known as the High King. And take back the hammer of Hemescus to its resting place. And it goes silent.
I say out loud, I accept your terms.
Alright, Zaya, Malthor, and Cyrus, you just see Captain speaking in Abyssal. If you do not understand Abyssal, you have no understanding of what he is saying and the tongues that he is
I do
speaking.
believe I speak Abyssal. Let me double
I
check
speak
my languages.
Infernal, so no, I have no idea. It's
I
gibberish.
speak Abyssal!
I do too.
Uh-oh.
So Zaya's
Demon
left
tongues.
clueless. Yeah, well, Captain speaks in demonic tongues.
Do I understand that I speak a different language?
Nope, you don't even realize that you're speaking a different language.
I'm gonna be the dumbass that goes, "Oi, Captain, you're speaking Abyssal right now."
Why are you
I'm saying
speaking
it in
Abyssal?
Abyssal.
Yeah, Zaya has no idea what anyone's saying. She's like gonna look
Nope.
at Cyrus and telepathically say, "What is going on?"
I telepathically start translating once I realize he's speaking in Abyssal to Zaya.
And Captain, as Malthor says this out loud, you understand him fully as if he was speaking common.
I simply cock my head in a confused manner, and I just say, what?
You're speaking in Abyssal. It's a demonic language. I'm only fluent because of my bloodline.
I
with
attempt
that-
to let go of the hammer again.
It does not work. Your hand cannot be
Gotta
removed.
sleep with that hammer. Gotta bathe with the hammer.
I'm guessing it offered you a deal, and I'm speaking still in Abyssal.
Yes, it did.
And
I
from your
accepted the
answer,
fucking
you
terms.
accept-
Can I have my hand back?
Ask it, not me. Until I get a little more powerful, I can't make it break its connection with you.
Okay, so I, with my free hand, like pinch like the bridge of my nose, and
Okay.
just say in my head, "May I have my hand back?"
As you finally find your hand releasing the grasp and detensing, the hammer seems to almost float up into the air for a few seconds, and then mount itself on Captain's belt.
Well, that should work. It's within your grasp always now, and it is powerful. But
Cap-
if at any point it makes you go evil and turn against us, I think you'll have your own problems to deal with then.
Zaya's speaking in common, but she's gonna hope Captain can understand. She's gonna look at him and be like, "I hope the terms were good ones."
As far as I am aware, they're ones
what are
that
the
can be met
terms?
without too much consequence.
Captain is
What
speaking
are
in
the
common
terms?
again.
Can he say them?
Well, with that, I kind of go like, "Huh, I wonder if I can." So I just cock my head to the side and say
And
in my
find
head,
your mouth completely shut as you even think about it.
I try
Oh.
to say, "No, I cannot." Does that succeed,
Yeah,
or do
that comes through.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at the hammer and just look at it and say, I wonder what terms you gave him. My master said you told him to kill the High King at one point, but I don't think
I
anyone's gonna be trying that.
go to point at him.
As you do, your hand doesn't move.
Oh well.
Kill the
we
High
won't know until-
King.
We won't know, and don't worry too much about it. My master, that's what happened when he got to stage 2. He forgot and did a lot of things.
Well, I
Oh,
don't know who
God,
the most
source.
powerful god is anymore, but the High King used to be. So your master must have gone through quite a bit.
I attempt to
Uh.
say it's preventing me from saying certain things.
That works.
Oh,
okay. Well,
that
we'll
is
probably figure them out as we go, so... Well, now you
Cyrus.
have a weapon that's on caliber with mine, so...
Cyrus, do you think you're Zaya's gonna suddenly go to telepathic, like consciously as she realizes she's speaking aloud. Do you think your telepathic link, like you do with me, would be able to translate that to Captain, or do you think the hammer would block that as well?
I'll reply back telepathically. If it's sentient, I don't think I want to establish a link with it.
Fair. Zaya like gives
Or-
like a nod of understanding. Well, Captain, I guess I look forward to seeing you use the hammer, although hopefully not on any of us.
to the best of my ability, I won't.
I think this has been quite an eventful evening. I'll look around. Does it look like there's like anyone standing there waiting to talk to me, or is it just us?
You see Gaul and Tikva standing waiting patiently out of earshot.
Okay, then Zaya's gonna assume it's probably for her and just kind of like nod to everyone and be like, I'll see what they need. I'd suggest training with that hammer, Captain, before we have to use it in a real fight.
Quick question. Tikva
Yes.
is your cousin, right, Zaya?
Yes. She
Okay.
was a cousin who got killed and then was raised from the dead.
As I see Gaul again and Tikva, I'll telepathically mention to you, do you think Tikva would be mad if she's widowed?
Zaya will respond as she's kind of slowly making her way over. She'll just respond, if she's changed since I last knew her. If I haven't seen her alive since we were children, but from what I knew, I didn't think her the type to marry someone like Gaul, but she's been through a lot, and I don't even know how she's alive, so who knows?
I'm gonna look at Captain and be like, you can train with me with the hammer. I can help you that way. I can at least take a hit from it without dying instantly.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm gonna try for a little bit at least on some non-living
Okay.
targets.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Saya approaches the two.
As you approach, Tikva is still standing there for a second and kind of elbows Gaul, and Gaul looks at her, looks at you, and goes, did Cyrus read the note I gave him?
What note? No,
What
I
note?
don't think he. Yeah.
Cyrus never checked his DMs.
Huh? Oh.
DMs. What does that stand for?
Sorry.
Also, DM.
I did.
While
I
this
didn't
is
see it pop
happening,
up.
No worries.
can I insight Tikva and her behavior and see if she's like, I don't know, mind control,
Sure.
or if she's actually like, cause the 19, cause the whole thing with Gaul was sudden news to her.
Yeah, so you actually can tell she has strong emotions for Gaul, it seems to be.
Of her own will.
Abnormally strong or just strong?
Yeah.
You guys worry a
Yeah.
lot. Jesus. No, she's not mind controlled. I'm just gonna put that out there now. Jesus Christ, people.
Well, now that you're confirming it out loud, I trust it even less.
You've caused this, Royce.
Yeah, she seems to have strong feelings for him of her own regard. It does not. It just seems that she is deeply in love with the guy. You get the feeling that there's something
Okay.
more to Gaul that you're not catching on to.
Okay, so if she
Maybe
got
he's
widowed,
actually
she'd
really good
probably
at
be
that.
sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually,
Tikva,
seeing.
when I played Tikva as a character, she was not into that, Cameron.
Mhm.
So I don't think that's it.
No, but Zaya was into getting into bed with goats.
Good old
Ghost.
Volta. Yes,
she didn't-
Cyrus.
Yeah, I was gonna
Really.
say. So realizing that Cyrus actually would have seen the note. Probably as we were heading over, I would have also mentioned it. So telepathically, I would have relayed to Zaya. It seems your head is in danger. People want to remove you from throne.
Uh-oh. Zyle kind of, is this happening now, or is this like a retcon thing?
Looks like it is
It's,
happening now.
Note from Gaul says, "Hope you enjoy the farce, while those who wish us fighting watched from a distance." So, yeah.
So Gaul
Heads
seems
up.
evil.
Would I gather that from reading it?
Yeah, like, it's.
PM?
I'm letting
Can
you
you
figure
copy-
that one out.
Yeah, can you copy,
okay.
like, paste it to me
Yeah.
or something so I could just, like, read over the wording as you say it? Because, like, this is concerning.
Yeah, I'll just put it in rejected potential
Fun.
now that I've shared it.
For Zaya's eyes only. Uh-oh. Zaya's looks, she's trying to, like, obviously hide her face, hide her emotions, but emotionally, mentally, she is very concerned. Is there like a bunker? Is there like a safe place already made? Or
An obsidian house just underneath the castle.
Nope.
yeah, no, is there like a
Not that you know of.
Damn, they didn't build the obsidian house in time.
Ugh. Yeah, they didn't have the threat of Tren around.
Or Zilpip.
Yeah, no kidding.
oh boy.
Gaul just looks at you and smiles and says, I know. You're wondering, of course, why me and your cousin are engaged. Well, married now. It's a long story that involves me trying to save a pirate crew that, tried to get involved in a situation that they shouldn't have. Apparently the captain had abandoned them, I guess, I don't know. And me almost killing a man, almost, before he ran off chasing someone. It's a long story, and maybe I'll tell you one day over drinks. But in the end, it finds me not rescuing, but standing toe to toe with your cousin here as he smiles at Tikva. She nearly drowned me in the river because she thought I was trying to kill these people when I was trying to save them. It is not the first time a woman's tried to drown me in my life.
Well,
As it
sounds
gives
like
a thumbs up.
Malthor shouts, I bet not, you funny bastard.
oh, Zaya's gonna telepathically respond to Cyrus and be like, if you can keep an eye out for me, I want to try to get somewhere safer. Do not trust Gaul too much. I haven't sensed ill will from him directly, but he did pass you the note, correct?
Yeah, I'll reply back telepathically, yes. I feel the same way, and I will keep watch.
Yeah, Zaya's
And-
on alert, and she's gonna kind of look to Gaul and just be like, I'd love to hear the story over drinks, although I admit I'm exhausted. Is there a proper quarters set up for me yet in the manor? I don't know if there's been something built, the protective measures, or anything like that.
Well, my son should be able to, is guarding your quarters right now. Your old quarters are available. Tikva was using them for a while there, before we were fully, married off. But yes, and he starts to kind
Oh,
of pull the other way.
you have a son.
Yes, previous marriage. Long story as he continues walking.
Ah,
Yes, he said
okay,
he ran
Zaya's.
into you earlier from what he was telling me. He's a little golden-eyed tiefling.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think I need to share look with Cyrus.
Yeah.
We just telepathically. Zaya's like, oh, is he well trained as a guard? How long has he? How old is he? I might have seen him. I believe I saw a golden-eyed tiefling not too long ago.
Yeah, he's well trained. He was mistaken for a Rakshasa a while back. I mean, by myself, in fact, after the damn bastards invaded and killed his mother.
Yes,
As you continue
understandable.
walking, Yes, those bastards will really trick you. But the truth is, I made sure to check the kid and haven't let him out of my eyesight just in case. I mean, I didn't trust him either, but,
Mhm. Yeah, Tikva, you never did tell me, was grandfather and all of the others from New Hope, were they all Rakshasas? I heard they got assassinated just in case, but were they all really fake?
Tikva just nods and looks at you, kind of smiles for a second, goes, the truth was, grandfather was so much worse than you knew. He was much nicer to you and Zias, whatever. She kind of looks tired, almost exhausted from the day. He I tried to prevent you from knowing the truth. The one that you met was a Rakshasa. He
Mhm.
had tried to convince me, and his charms did work for a while, but eventually I broke free and played along more to avoid unnecessary drama. Plus, he was much kinder
Mhm.
than our grandfather. But our grandfather was
Yeah.
kidnapped by some green hag a while ago.
Yes, I ran into him in the capital. That's how I found out before I ran into Gaul, and he told me word of what had happened at the manor. He was an ass. I can say that safely, but still, I don't know. I know the threat seems mostly gone, but I am uneasy knowing how easily I was convinced, not once, but twice, that my grandfather was real when he was not.
Well, you traveled with a Rakshasa yourself, so I figured you wouldn't be affected by it.
I did.
Yes, Alluvia. I caught a glimpse of her when you guys were leaving. I didn't
I
say
did not.
anything. I assumed that you were under the charm and it wasn't worth my time to be a bother, as she or he did not seem interested in you, but rather the dwarf, and I saw no regard in
Yes.
bothering.
I did not trust her, but I wasn't under a spell per se until later on. But she and Dolkin disappeared. Who knows what happened to the poor fellow? But I was suspicious of her, I suppose, for good reason. This does not bode well.
But we
Do we
do
have?
have a way of testing now on whether they are Rakshasa or if they are truly tieflings.
Well, wonderful. What? How do you do it? How do you
You burn
test?
them.
Rakshasa bleed purple, while tieflings, just like any other mortal species, burn red or bleed red.
Well, good to know. Speaking of, is there? I was looking at the walls construction not too long ago, and I know we are still in the early stages of construction, and she kind of like looks at the Gaul, she says this, but do we have anyone trained enough to put magical protection up? I worry about magic and people invading through that rather than physical invasion.
Goluk, she goes, well, haven't managed to contact the wizard's tower in the southern portion of the border, but with a few strong hands, and gives a kind of wry smile. We should be able to get there with it. We should be able to get a few of them within a couple weeks and bring them up here if that's what your highness desires.
We could also
Well,
go ourselves.
have they gone suspiciously quiet, or are they just busy?
Your highness, the entire country went silent.
Hmm, perhaps. How dangerous is it in the countryside? Could I perhaps be of use trying to, with a party, of course, contact these people again? Perhaps rally them as the new empress. Do you think that would be a good idea?
So long as you name a regent, you and your group are welcome to leave anytime you'd like.
Can I? Okay, I know I've been suspicious, but I
Hang
want
tick
to
up.
insight him
Hmm.
as he says that. Like, is he happy I'll be gone? 13.
No,
Or is like he like,
he seems to be telling matter of factly, like just going over
mm,
the traditional ruling.
what do you think with how delicate a state the city is? Would it be better for me to stay or to be gone?
I don't think it would honestly matter. You're not really how do I put it in a way
Hands-on
not
leader.
to offend you? Not a hands-on leader. You're not
Hmm.
royalty. Even when I at one time worked for the emperor, even he wasn't much of a hands-on royal. It was typically the lords who led, regents and merchants and such. Honestly, if you, so long as you live, eventually provide an heir, and have a regent here that's close family, we're fine.
I
Which
would
means,
like
please,
to
don't
be
make
of-
me.
Also, being hands-on would mean that if you did travel and sent people here to help, you'd be being hands-on with that.
Yes, I would like to be. I don't want to meddle and ruin things because I don't understand how everything works. But I would like to be of some use, especially since this at least of all the country the kingdom's in such a delicate state. I don't want to just be a
Well,
figurehead, so to speak.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You're not much more use other than a figurehead until the kingdom gets all prepared. You're also kind of weak.
That's
So
The only
perhaps it's
person-
time we take off.
The only person with any decent training around here is probably the guy out back beating things with his hammer.
I was
Yeah.
literally
Paladin
typing
standing here.
this.
And the paladin standing back out there with him, shouting things because he's being a stupid listener.
Anyways, ignoring the paladin that's talking like an idiot or speaking when not being spoken to.
I find it disturbing. I was typing that, and you said that.
The DM knows all.
telepathic powers.
He goes, plus I imagine the ghosts inside your crystal that you're carrying most likely have, a lot of things you need to go get done.
Can I didn't tell Gaul
Nope.
about the stones.
Not that you
So
recall.
I just kind of nod slowly. Then I might see about being useful somewhere else. I do have my own goals. And she kind of looks over at Malthor, and she kind of eyes Captain, who's just throwing a hammer at basically haystacks. I'll go speak with them. It was good talking to you, Gaul.
Yes.
I'll go speak with them.
It's good to see someone. The Emperor's crown and gem went to someone a little more useful at this point.
Well, I'm glad I'm somewhat useful. It's least I can do. I'll do my best to be a figurehead and stay alive, if that's all I can really do.
All right. As Gaul and
And then,
Tikva head off in their own direction, back into the manor. Zaya returning to the
Yeah.
training ground with Cyrus continuing to follow her. Malthor
Yeah,
and Captain beating the training.
I'm watching.
I am still
I-
trying to recall that
Actually,
fucking
you know what?
hammer.
As they walk back, I'm just gonna pull out my Draco blade and hold it out and say fireball, and have it blast
Well-
away at one of the dummies.
Captain, give me a dexterity saving throw.
I'm choosing one as far away from Captain as possible. Dang it!
Captain, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Hold on. 15.
Okay. Malthor, does a 22 hit?
Hit me?
Yes.
Yeah. No. My AC is 23.
The hammer goes flying past Captain's head and almost straight into Malthor, flying back, and then comes back, or reappears suddenly in Captain's belt.
Wait, did I recall it or did it retreat?
It did it of its own free will.
You called it, but you don't know if it chose to come of you or by its choice.
It's like a moody wife.
Lovely.
Congratulations, you've been hitched with a hammer.
And suddenly, Captain grows a beard and starts working in the mines. Congrats, you're
damn it.
dwarven. All right, Zaya and Cyrus, as you return, watching this spectacle. It's getting late. It's at this point the sun has gone down. It's become very peaceful. Not much else is heard going around.
Alright, Zaya's gonna, well, she telepathically, just communicate to Cyrus. Make sure you check your DMs. Yeah, and Zaya's just gonna kind of watch them, like Captain and Malthor, just
Mm-hmm.
chaos, just whatever they're
Training.
doing. And she's gonna look at them both and kind of glance around. Can I do a perception check to see if we're alone or if we're being watched?
Sure.
That's a 12.
You don't see anybody.
She's gonna kind of lower her voice and be like, I'm not used here. I just seem to be a figurehead, and with how delicate the political structure is here, I fear I might have enemies. Who knows? I think it's best if I leave. I'm not sure what exactly we want to do. I feel it'd be good to get more allies, or perhaps check on the rest of the Tiefling lands as long as we have a safe party to travel with. The capital still was not fully cleared out. Before we can renovate it, we have to make sure the dragons are all gone. If any of you want to go to that and do that again. If not, I just think it may not be best for me to stay and just sit idle.
I give a thumbs up.
Sounds good to
Silas
me.
just. Silas gonna look at like Captain a bit, like shocked, but then like just smile.
Hey, look, you're not all thumbs anymore. You got one up on it.
I throw the hammer and try to recall it again.
The hammer lands in the hay bale, stops, doesn't move.
I shrug.
You could just leave it there since it's now off your person.
No. I've
The
got a bad feeling.
At that
about
mention, the hay bale lights on fire.
Like I said, it's a lot like a very angry wife. Good luck.
I focus very hard and try to recall it back to me.
The fire grows with intensity.
Try saying, "Here, girl," and whistling.
Oh.
Malthor, give me a dexterity saving throw.
I'm gonna
Sai
die
is just
from
kind of shaking her head, face palming at the two.
Okay, dex save. Glad I got a +8. 21.
You manage to dodge the fireball that comes flying at your face and seems to smack into the tree behind you.
You know I'm right, Gravel Thrash.
Malthor, if you could stop spewing words from your face hole. I think everyone and everything would be better for the wear.
Ouch. Now I can see why Gaul made fun of you.
The hammer is trying to kill you with every word you say. I'm trying to help you. I'm
The
not
hammer
mad at
just
you.
doesn't like me.
Guys, if you are done arguing, I propose, and I'm open to suggestions, of course. Perhaps our first course of action is to head south to the wizard towers, where they said if we want magical protection for the city, they said they needed to contact people there. There's been no response.
Well,
I
then
think
I
it'd
say
be
we
good
head
to
out tonight.
Yes, I don't want to go to my chambers. I'm not sure I feel safe just yet.
As
I-
you begin
if-
to contemplate this, you suddenly see a very almost transparent creature that suddenly is standing before you, about 7 feet tall, rather wide in frame, wearing kind of a mix between nobleman's clothing and commoners that's somewhat torn up, carrying a lute. And he looks at you and goes, "You know, you promised you'd do the quest for me. Venny boy back there," and he points off into the distance, to which you see nothing, "said you'd go and take care of this damn quest for me. If you're not willing to do that, I'm gonna haunt your ass and make ruling
What?
a lot worse."
If you're Ven Zorwin, I haven't spoken to him for a while now. He died and became a ghost. What's this quest? Do I recognize the man?
Yeah, this is the guy you saw earlier in the tomb. The one
Oh,
who
you were
identified him
talking.
as Galtharn.
Oh, I thought you were. My apologies. I thought the quests you
Holy
were
shit,
given
a
were given
ghost.
to Ven Zorwin. If you need us to do a quest, I am willing to help. Of course.
Yes.
I did.
You're okay. Obviously, you're not the brightest queen I've run into, but to be fair, we
It
prefer.
was.
If you're traveling with Ven, he always did prefer his women dumb. All right.
It was a chaotic moment. I was not thinking clearly. I'll admit it. I was mentally disturbed. What is the quest? Could you reiterate?
Alright, Venny Boy was married once. You know that, right?
Yeah, married many times, from what I hear. Too
No,
many
actually,
times.
only once. The
5,000.
rest, technically, the rest were not officially marriages. The men never married
Hmm.
officially after that. I mean, now, you can't call getting married by a pirate captain in a brothel technically a wedding since it was on dry land. But, I digress. It's none of my business on who he slept with. Nothing happens, Captain.
Damn it!
So, the Spider Queen, you've probably heard of her.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, she needs to die. And we need to empty her blood on top of the damn tree she's guarding. Do that, and I won't have to
How
haunt your ass. And I mean, I will haunt you everywhere. I will be in the bedroom when you're sleeping with people. I will be in the bathroom when you're trying to take a crap. I will
How
make this
soon must
awkward.
how soon must
What
she
about when she's
die?
giving birth?
I recommend as quickly as possible. We do have a friend of ours, a few friends that will be in that direction.
Willing to
Um,
help us?
yeah, sure. Um,
Mm. Is there
there's.
any
Hmm?
do you have any information that could be useful for helping us kill her swiftly?
No, but I know the location of how to avoid going through the Drow City and having to deal with their light.
That would be very useful.
Yeah,
That
I
sounds fun.
figured. I figured I would have recommended that. Drow really don't like it when you threaten to kill their, God Queen.
Yes.
And he looks and he says, everything is silent, Captain. Um,
Ah!
Oh gosh, what are you doing?
Look, I just love Norse
It
mythology
really
a
is
little
like an
bit
angry
too
wife.
much.
It's not talking to him.
North is Captain is trying to be Thor back there.
Okay. Continue, DM.
yeah. Anyways, so and he looks at you and says, well, I don't have a map. You got a map for God's sake. I'm a ghost. I don't have a map to show you.
I think I do have I have a map of the Tiefling Island.
God
Wait,
damn it.
Captain, and I turn to him and I raise my voice to get his attention. Don't you have a map? You're a pirate.
I have a lot of maps. You're gonna need to be a tad bit more specific.
Did you pick
World
up
map.
one of our world,
Um,
or are they only of yours?
I don't believe I've acquired any maps since
Well,
I've gone here.
did you check? Maybe they've magically changed.
Would I have a world
I-
map on me from traveling?
Yeah. If
Malthar would.
not, yeah.
I
Okay.
pull out a map from my chest. I got one.
Good,
Thank you,
good.
Malthor.
We'll have to bring you into the Lusty Lads one day. They're dragon-born creature. Anyways, he starts drawing on the
I'm
map.
not dragonborn. I'm.
You look like a dragon to me. All right. He starts drawing on the
I
map.
don't have dragon-like features. I'm
Listen,
gray skin and I look human. Damn it!
I'm calling you ugly. All right, get over it. Jesus.
Malthor, please let him draw out on the map.
As he draws out
I
a marking in the northern portion of the islet, right outside of the city, about 20 clicks north, and he goes, Here you're gonna find. He looks at. Let me write this down. A gnoll named Redpaw Kingslayer. He might still be there. He died a long time ago, but his spirit's probably still there. He's one of Ven's first sons. Amazingly.
Oh, a knoll.
Yeah, one of his bastards. And then there's that, oh shoot, what was his name? It was some bastard killed him that might be over there. I don't know. His name was Gregory the Bloodthirsty. He's an old fucking dwarf. He's got a few great-grandsons that like to roam around that are named after him, but I don't know if they're still alive.
yeah, that is one. We met him.
Butcher?
What was that?
Greg the
Captain?
Butcher.
Sorry, isn't there a villager in the Empire that's named that?
Yeah. He's named after
Yes.
Greg the Bloodthirsty, who who ran the Crimson Talon, who Zaya's familiar with.
Too familiar with. Didn't like him.
In fact, he's been trying to get Zaya killed since the beginning.
And killed his cousin. Because he hired. Yeah.
I mean, to be
Yeah, she
fair,
doesn't like him.
Greg killed his own son in front of Zopip just for show, just to make this clear on what kind of guy the
Yep.
guy was. Greg,
Yeah.
Galthorn continues. He goes, take a left here when you see Thortail Orpik, or is it Czar the Crier? I can never remember. There's also Silvertongue. You might know him. He's a tiefling. And there's also a drow captain down there. Oh, I don't know what his name was. Let me think.
Lothric?
No. I don't know. I can't remember. He's some drow captain of some sort. And he guards
You,
Zidka's Jezelin's place. And he wasn't one of our lusty lads. He's one of the bastards that almost killed Ven.
so
The
he's
saddest
not.
thing is, it wasn't because Ven was trying to kill the queen. It was because he slept with the captain's wife 3 times. Ugh, that man.
So we can't. The drow captain
From the
won't be
orb.
willing to help us.
Somewhere from beyond the grave. She kept coming back for more.
Galthan looks and goes, no, I wouldn't rely on any drow. In fact, if you have even mentioned Ven's name in the Drownlands, it's automatic burning.
Yes, I'll make sure not to do that.
In fact, if you smell like Ven, that's an automatic drowning.
I've been separate from Ven long enough, hopefully.
I mean, I don't know what he did at night to you. I don't ask those kinds of questions.
If he did something I didn't know about, I will find his spirit and send it to whatever damnation I can. I assure you that. But please continue.
Oh, hey, that's, I heard about a dragonborn that got screwed by a red orc one time. Anyways, here, yeah, so this should be, he hands the map back. That's kind of the general idea of the tomb. Good luck. I recommend heading there. Should give you something to do.
The tree that you said she's guarding it, will it be recognizable?
Yeah, it's a pretty ugly looking tree. Give me a moment.
Will it happen to be on fire?
Something of that sort.
Is the tree the one Ven was supposed to go see?
Yes, actually, I think it was. That's what he mentioned something about that.
Yeah, from beyond
Then
the grave again. Yeah, the thing's on fire. I'm supposed to get a fruit from it for that guy back in Dragon's Reach.
To help stop the end of the world. Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take care of that for me, Zaya. Thanks, bye.
Yeah.
God damn it!
thanks,
I tied him up earlier. That I tell you, the man's got a thing for kinkiness. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this information. We were about to set off, so I suppose we'll head this way then. Yes. And she looks over at everyone else. Is this okay with everyone?
Yeah,
Works
sounds
for
like the
me.
next step.
I think we should get prepared before we take on a drow queen, but I suppose heading off, finding supplies would be a good thing to do.
Oh.
We can
We'll
train on
stop the end of the world.
And before I go, I'm gonna give you a little warning. For all of you.
Yes?
The person who ends up attacking the queen and laying the final blow, there's a 50-50 shot Ven might try to, swoop in and maybe possess you just to take the hit or to kill it. So forewarning, for a few minutes you may have some of the weirdest thoughts going on in your mind. I'm just warning you that now.
Then I will not be the one to strike the killing blow. And she just gives a smile.
Also, you
I'll
might
take
want.
that. Ghosts will have a harder time possessing me.
I don't know. This man's a randy ghost. Also, I tell your pirate friend over there to stop trying to communicate with the poor hammer. I don't think it comes back. I think it's a very what do you call it? High maintenance lady.
I'm trying
Did you
to
catch
be
that,
patient.
Captain?
I just look at him and, with my eyes closed, gesture at him, saying, "I'm trying to be patient with it."
Captain, we should. You're a good person when it comes to seafaring. I believe we should get you a ship and we should head off to the mainland. Could you worry about your hammer later?
I was just doing that while you guys were talking. I was just trying to pass my own time, seeing if it
Well
would.
then,
Right.
we're done chatting, right? And Zaya looks back to the ghost.
Galtharn's gone.
Yep. Then she'll look back to Captain. Then we should get you a good ship and head out. Try to be alert.
Ships, A, are not cheap, and B, take some time to make. You understand that, right?
This is an island nation. I am sure we had some ships that weren't destroyed by the Rakshasa. They took over. They would need ships themselves. I was kept on a Rakshasa ship. I know for a fact they need them.
Is his ship destroyed, or did the crew just end up not?
Well, I thought the DM said, like last session, Malthor took the ship. So does Malthor have a ship or no?
Mm-mm.
No, that was
Okay,
the
yeah.
template in the
I go to
Uh,
where I docked my ship. I at least address that I'm about to be heading that way to see if it's
well,
even
isn't
still
that
there.
far?
Yeah, that's
far from
about
the
a couple
manor?
weeks travel.
Oh, I thought that was
Yeah.
like just down the fucking road.
Nope.
No, this is the manor. This is the
No.
other side of the island from the capital where we started, where the
Mhm.
dragon was.
We montaged when we first met up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's gonna take a few weeks.
when we were on the road and the cabin thing happened.
Alright, I just.
We could probably get another ship here because we're on an island.
That's what I was saying. See, if I'm an empress, perhaps I'd have some persuasion. If not, I have some funds.
Not to mention, you are the empress, meaning that the royal ship would belong to.
Yes, and I'm sure there's a crew that will come with it as long as they get some payment from somewhere, which I suppose I could handle if need be. Then we would also have a crew, and that would mean more people. I'm not sure if they'd follow us into the Drow lands, but at least get us to the mainland is my main concern.
Sounds fine by me.
Speaking of, Captain, you still have that oh god, what is it? Oh gosh, they're not binoculars. A telescope
Oh,
that
the
we found at the
owl eye?
capital?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you
Speaking of which, is there
look
still
on
a
the
black
shore?
ring around my eye?
Yeah, there has been. It's never gone away.
Oh, same as Zaya?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh
the
gosh.
reason why I ask is because my flesh fucking falls off
Mm-hmm.
when it goes to night, and then
I
it
know.
comes.
Zaya's just got okay, she's like a Dalmatian, whatever. Captain, could you see if the army we saw like a week ago is still waiting on the coast of the mainland?
Do I have a vantage point of that of any kind?
You can see that there should be a vantage point on the roof.
Yeah.
I say
Can
be
you
right
spider
back.
climb, rogue? Climbing
I-
montage.
Hardcore.
Yeah, I'll make an acrobatics check if
Okay.
that's allowed.
Yeah.
Just
Or you
go
could have
for
just
it.
gone inside and walked up the stairs.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
it's not as cool. He's a rogue.
Walk inside and go
Acro-
upstairs.
acrobatics is a plus
All right,
10.
Malthor.
What happens when you're proficient?
Okay. 25 to
Yeah,
climb the
that's what
fucking
means that level.
building.
All right, as you manage to grab a hold of a couple of vines and swing yourself from vine to vine, almost like Tarzan as you're swinging up, making it to the top, you see Gaul and Tikva immediately catching your eye in the slight moonlight that comes through occasionally on the through the clouds, and they are fully together.
I peel my eyes away from that immediately and just try to sorry, I just saw Cyrus.
Cyrus, I love that. Go ahead, Captain.
Um,
Him all the dirty details.
sorry. Tried to focus. I just tried to peel my eyes away and focus on what I was up there for in the first place, and just go and look to see if that is in my sights at all.
I disconnected. What happened?
Captain saw your cousin making out with her husband. Meanwhile, Malthor is now
Oh.
opening a hatch in the roof and seeing Captain staring out into the distance. As you look off, you do see the ships. They're still at dock. They're still what looks to be flying around Heli and Helio, with different sigils on their on their armor, and the ships seem to be somewhat accurate.
So they haven't really moved much.
They have not.
All right, so I make my way back down.
Before you do, Gaul turns to you, smiles, and gives you a nod, and goes back doing what he was doing.
I give a thumbs up.
As you do, and jumping down, you feel something hit you in the head. As it
I probably
lands,
deserve that.
as it lands on the ground in front of you, you see what it is.
It's a thumb.
It's a thumb of a troll.
I'm concerned why he has that while he's butt naked, but I
Why
don't
does
want to
he?
care
Where
about
does he
that.
keep all these thumbs, huh? Especially if he's undressed right now.
You don't know that. You don't want to know that.
There's a note on it, Captain.
I take the note, but I leave the thumb.
As you look at the note, it says, "Here's my thumbs up. Don't ask where this was."
In his
I
bag of
simply-
holding.
Oh, gross. I toss the note into the air, and I just shake my head, and then I tell Zaya, it doesn't really seem that they've changed a whole lot. Maybe rotated a little, but otherwise they're still in the same spot.
Mid conversation, the
DM.
paper smacks him in the face, since that's paper, how paper works. Yes.
When the way it was described when I saw it in the telescope back at the Capitol,
Same exact
are they
way.
docked? Are they docked right where we first left when we came to
Yes.
the island back when Dulkin's? So they're at the town we need to port at, basically.
No, they're still docked all the way back in their homelands.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they're like at the other world.
Yeah, they're still on the other side, pretty far away.
Is Gaul and Tikva aware of that? Did that ever get brought up?
Nope.
Or, then I'm gonna kind of look to Cyrus, not Cyrus, a captain, and be like, when you were up there, did you see any sign of Gaul and Tikva? Before we leave, we should probably bring this up to them, since Gaul's the captain of basically everything, and Tikva is my cousin, so I trust her.
I try to nonchalantly pull my hat down just a little bit over my eyes and say, I didn't see them up there.
Okay, well then we should probably go find them. If we plan to head out tonight, we gotta
I'll
first find a ship,
I'll
and
leave them
we
a
also.
note. I'll just leave them a note. It's okay. Trust me, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Can I
Trust.
insight his
Meanwhile,
behavior?
Malthor comes walking back around the building.
I heard a thumb be thrown out a window somewhere.
Yeah, Zaya, go ahead and insight.
Yeah, cause Captain doesn't
Captain,
seem normal.
Roll deception.
That's a 19.
What'd you
So
say,
do
Dio?
deception real good.
Roll deception.
Okay,
I got a
should be
19.
proficient at that.
I'm proficient as well, but I'm not
Malthor,
deceiving.
you see-
I'm deceiving.
Go ahead.
16 for deception.
I got
Okay.
19.
You get the feeling he's not telling the truth, but he seems embarrassed by it. Malthor, you also see the troll's thumb standing at Captain's foot. Or laying at Captain's foot.
Captain, you don't seem truthful. I don't know why you're lying, but you do realize this is important business, right?
I flick my hat up, look dead in Zaya's eyes, and say, you don't want to know.
Don't. Oh my God! On the roof, My
I
cousin,
tried. I tried.
Oh, your poor eyes. Your poor eyes. We will just then.
Leave them
We
a
should-
note and carry on.
Yeah. Yes. Do I have paper and ink?
I do. It's in my bag. 1 second. And I take out my pen and quill kit and a piece of paper.
What
yeah. Okay.
What was that, Malthor?
She can use my trunk as a desk.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
A medieval cigarette. If Captain hands me the paper and pen, I just want to write down a note, like telling them about the army on the mainland to be prepared for like any invasion, if we want to like address that, and then just I want to hang on. I don't think I could throw it up to there.
I can do it.
I want no. Yeah, hey, I want to where is it? Where is my spell? Where is gust of wind?
Alright.
I wanted to Oh yeah, I found it. I want a gust of wind and just blow the note right up there on the roof and just hope they find it.
Are you looking? I assume that you're looking towards the direction of the roof. Make sure it goes up there, correct?
I'm looking up, but I'm not looking at the roof. I'm like looking up at the sky and just like using the gust of wind.
Yeah, at this point, I'm trying to shield your eyes with my fucking hat.
Yeah, I'm
As-
like squinting.
As this goes on, you see a dark figure on the roof. You see it standing pridefully on the edge, enjoying the brisk wind.
Does my hat not block anything?
It does for her, but it doesn't for you, Captain. As you get a full view.
Oh.
And now you have seen parts of Gaul you wish you had never had the Gaul to look up to.
I'll just scratch out my eye sockets when I'm undead. It's fine.
As the note comes and smacks him, he grabs it in the air and starts to read it. And he waves down towards Captain and goes, "Got you!" And turns around and walks back.
Okay, so I was just gonna like look down and just kind of thank Captain for shielding her eyes, and we'll look to everyone and be like, it might be too late to head out tonight, but I feel like we should try to see if we can arrange a ship and perhaps
Should we also
rest
go
somewhere.
on a ship and start sailing? Captain should be comfortable sailing at night. He is a skeleton.
I can
Well,
barely hear him.
He says you should be comfortable
Yeah.
sailing at night because you're a skeleton.
I
There,
don't mind sailing
fixed.
at night.
well, do we all need rest? Are we all prepared? for
Only
the
thing
big-
I've done today so far is use my sword to throw a fireball at a thing and then dodge fireballs from his hammer. I think I'm
From
good.
my past experience, going in the ocean or landing in a new place often comes with bad things and potentially death. And I don't know how far Mogwar, as a god, if he controls all the oceans, if he will give us safe passage. I could try a prayer.
I trust my god to give me safe passage anywhere. He traveled the
I-
worlds.
What is
I-
the name of your god again?
He's known as the hidden one to most people here.
Do I recognize that name at all, DM?
Give me a religious check.
Okay, I'm not good at this one. I got 21. Never mind.
Malthar.
Normac, the hidden one, to be more precise. And yeah, she probably would have at least heard whispers of him, but not much more than that, as he tried. As he was very.
So I don't know if he's actually trustworthy.
Yeah, basically.
You know only thing you really know is that he was a
Wait,
rival to the other god of blacksmith.
Didn't Zaya run into Normac, like with Dulcan and them?
Nope.
Like,
That was
knows
Torin.
names?
Torin.
No.
That
oh,
was
Torin.
Torin, the Crimson Shield.
You have so many Dragonborn characters.
So
I'm-
many dead
he's not a
Dragonborn.
dragon.
Place
Dragonborn.
my hand on your shoulder and say, "Don't worry.
He's not fully
I have
Dragonborn
sailed many voyages. You can trust me."
Gaul puts his hand
Okay.
on Captain's shoulder and goes, "Don't worry, I have laid with many women." He is butt
I-
naked.
Place my hat firmly onto Zaya's face. I am sorry in advance.
I cover my captain's eyes with my shield, just going like this. I think he's seen enough
Zaya's
of your package,
just-
Gaul. It's very.
Cyrus, my
Gaul,
friend,
Gaul?
Gaul,
we need a
please.
moment to speak. And he kind of goes over to grab Cyrus and pulls him along.
What are you need to talk to him about?
Don't worry, my queen, it's nothing important. Cyrus, come with me. I need you to look at something for me.
Did
I'm gonna,
Zaya-
Cyrus.
If it's medical, I'm gonna shout after Gaul and be like, if it's something medical, you might want to ask me.
Yeah, I'll reluctantly go.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I hear back in your home country, it's very common for the nobles to walk around naked on the battlefield. So I was curious if that's a thing still.
I don't think it is.
I find it funny that you're saying all this with a freaking tricorn pressed to your face.
Yeah, no, I couldn't yell loud enough to say this.
And what's funny is you have a shield in front of yours.
Yeah, Zaya's gonna like take the tricord off, like see if it won't even fit on her head properly because of her
This is
horns,
Angel's
right?
change.
What?
No, I'm not putting it on top of your head. I'm putting
Oh,
it
just like
in, front
in
of
my
your
face.
From back
Oh
in my room when I
yeah.
was keeping change on my desk, he'd come up there and grab it. So I was like, you know what?
As Cyrus and Gaul go into the building, the rest of you decide, still figuring out what's going on. Gaul brings Cyrus down into what looks to be a small room that looks to be set up to a smoker's lounge with plenty of books and comfortable seating. And he sits down on what looks to be a really crappily put together leather chair, and crosses his legs and just sits there and looks at you, pulling out a cigar, lights it, offers you one as well out of the box.
I'll take it.
As you take it, he offers to clip it for you,
Yep.
and then lights it and smiles and goes, "So, about the note I sent you. I figured I might explain it as you might be concerned.
That would be helpful.
I always think better after a jaunt in the moonlight. Anyways, so
Moonlight?
I am it's a figure of speech, Captain. Um, he goes, I wasn't 100% truthful when I said I served as one of the Emperor's elite guards. I'm,
Okay.
how do you put it? I'm one of his many, I mean many, bastard sons. And so technically, most of them are dead, either by my own hands or by the Rakshasa. Long story. Emperor's dead. I saw to that myself after he tried to kidnap some poor noblewoman and cut her down. God, I still can't believe my own father would do that. I ended up having to organize a snow elf invasion of the colonies just to get rid of the bastard because he's that strong. Anyways, so naturally I have a claim to the throne. There are people amongst the tieflings that want me on the throne, given my education and background, as I was one of father's more favored, as I was better with a sword and a staff in both situations. I was originally supposed to be married off to Tikva beforehand. However, the first time she met me, she gawked at me and said I was an ugly, terrible human being. Good way to meet your wife in the future, by the way. Anyways, yeah, so that's what I meant by that note. I'm not trying to threaten. I don't have an interest in the throne. I don't want her throne. Um, the gods know, by all means, that I would be a terrible, bloodthirsty king. Now, I don't think Zaya is a great queen by any means, but she's passive. She lets people who are good at their jobs do what they need to do, and so, therefore, she's better than what I would be. So, here's my request. Keep the lady alive. She seems to die real easy.
Get kidnapped easy.
I plan on doing that to the best of my ability.
Good. You do that, I'll help you with your own situation. I've looked into you a little bit. I've had a few contacts with some of the Nords. Seems you're not 100% confident in your own past. Am I correct in this?
I've suspected, yes, but beyond that, I'm not certain.
Between you and Captain, I have information for both of you that you'd find useful. When you return, if the Queen is still alive and everything is taken care of, then I will be happy to provide that information.
Sounds good. I guess I will try to keep Zaya alive.
Good man. Good man.
Try.
That's a task that, many have failed at. I'm going to be honest with you. Her cousin died, or her brother died, her cat died.
They
In fact, I
didn't
think
die technically protecting me.
everyone who's gotten close to her, I think, has pretty much died or left or ran away screaming at this point. So good luck to you. It's kind of another reason I want her out of the kingdom. Just if you kind of get the drift here, I don't want to be near a woman that gets everyone killed.
I'm cursed.
Yeah, I can understand that. So yay me, but hopefully it'll go better.
Well, if it doesn't, you won't have to worry about collecting the information, right?
That's true.
As he kind of switches, crossing his legs. All right, well, I guess that's all I had for you. You can keep the cigar as he kind of closes caps the end of it off on his skin and just smiles and goes, I have a lady in waiting, and, well, as he looks down at himself, I imagine you're not exactly. I don't want to, flash you too long. I tend to have an effect on people as he kind of starts to walk out.
That's
He is
true,
a
I
bard
think.
of College of Valor. I just know it.
So he did use magic on Tikva.
Where did you get that?
No,
God.
seduction's not magic.
A magical ability, maybe. There was that one dude from the other world.
Zaya is
the
just
dwarf who
outright
had a magical aura.
bothered by the fact that her cousin could fall for a man like this.
Gaul. Well, Gaul is
If I were a woman, I would fall for a man like this. The puns are amazing.
the
Oh,
new Gaul, maybe, but the Gaul we first met, no.
And at that, Gaul comes out, walking out again, looking Captain dead in the eyes, gives him a thumbs up, and smiles and says, "Don't ask where the troll's thumb was kept," and turns back around and heads upstairs.
My
Gaping
tricorn
bubble.
is still on Zaya's face.
I'm trying to
My
take it
shield is
off.
still in
I've
front of
been
Captain's
trying
face.
to take it off the whole time.
As
I'm
Zaya,
like-
aware.
as
I'm
Zaya
fully
struggles with
aware.
it,
Captain's face.
Grapple! I fight Captain. I want the hat off my face.
As
Is
the
anyone
hat-
keeping guard?
so the
One
hat kind of
second.
moves from Captain's, or moves slightly out of Zaya's face, just enough to where she gets flashed by Gaul's brightly colored ass.
Oh, wonderful. What's it on the scale, DM? Roll a d20 for it.
All right. An 18.
Oh, so
It's like the moonlight.
Blinded
Nice.
by the light.
Zaya just
His tail is
sighs,
swishing back and forth.
turns around the captain, takes the hat, and then just slams it back on his head and be like, "I want to get a move on."
I would like to
Well,
do the
let's
same.
get going.
Cyrus,
Should we see
do
if
I
we can
see
find a ship?
Cyrus?
Cyrus, do you come out smoking a cigar?
Yes, I do.
Zaya's
I'm gonna look
gonna.
at Cyrus and say, "You have a fun time in there, my friend?"
We just talked.
Sure, that's why you're the one smoking the cigar, and he walked away like he just had some fun.
He's been naked. He was naked.
I
I
was
still have my
born
clothes on.
naked.
And so
We weren't in there
He
for that
was-
long.
he's married to my cousin. He better not be cheating on her.
It's not
And then
cheating if
Zaya's
it's with
just-
another man.
Cyrus, did you get the chance to ask him at all about ship arrangements? I assume he's the captain of. He said he was the captain of fishing. So
Yeah,
I assume he knows
I
stuff.
did not. But yeah, I should have thought of that when I was talking with him.
I'm sure you were distracted by his appearance.
Yeah, attempting not to look certain places.
I think we should. I really am not comfortable fully sleeping in the manor with people out for my head, but I think we should bed down if we can't find a ship just yet. But I would like to look for a ship. If everyone's ready to go, no more interruptions. She looks over at Captain and Malthor like, everyone ready?
I'm
I
fine
put
with
my
that.
hands up in the air like I didn't do shit.
Sure.
That
See if we can
looks-
find a
Alright.
ship.
And let's just be prepared. I've not been on the mainland for a while. Who knows how more chaotic it got? And if we're going to fight a drow god queen, or try, then I think we should take our time and try not to die. But first things first, ship. And I'll start heading into town.
Okay. As you lot begin to head towards town, you eventually come. Yes.
I was gonna say, if you could do the description if you want. I have to go to the bathroom, so I'll be back. I don't know
Okay.
if you want to wait or do a recap or what, but
I can
yeah,
wait a minute.
I'll be
That's
back.
fine. No worries.
Okay. BR.
Captain and Cyrus have both been traumatized. Malthor's enjoying himself.
I just want to recall the fucking hammer, man.
As Captain starts to cry about this, suddenly he recalls when he got the hammer. All the memories come back to him.
Not.
Are you willing to put up with this a lot for longer, my friend?
What'd you say? You're still quiet on my end.
Are you willing to put up with this a lot for longer, my friend?
Here, 1 second. I'll turn you up on my end.
What the fuck? Is
No,
up
you're
with
fine. Okay, try talking now.
Are you willing to put up with this for much longer, my friend?
I'm willing to put up with it. I just wish I was able to control it a little easier.
Good luck with that. I've been here less time than you, and I don't even think I'm gonna have an ounce of control at the end of this.
Fair enough.
Gaul comes
I'm
back
just
down
afraid
to
of the
keep
hidden one.
you guys company and goes, "So, I hear my escapades have become famous around here." He's still
I
butt naked.
resume flipping the hammer in my hand.
Gaul smiles at you and goes, "Yeah, that's about the right shape."
I just keep flipping the hammer.
I just kind of
What did I come
partially
back
ignore him.
to?
You don't want to know.
I said right shape and something about a hammer. So
Zaya's gone. Gaul's standing there butt naked, smiling at Captain's hammer.
wait, did I get left alone?
Yeah, you walked off to go find a ship while Gaul was chatting with your party just to
I
give them
didn't wanna
attention.
I'm following Zaya.
Leave
I
alone.
was
Don't
gonna
get
say.
assassinated.
As you guys all start to walk away to catch up to Zaya, Gaul goes, I'll join you. I'm happy to help."
No,
No, that's
it's,
okay. I
we'll meet
think
up
we got
Does
it.
he know
Looking for a
stuff about
ship if you know where to
ships?
get one.
Yeah, my queen, I know a lot about ships. Here, let me come along. He starts jogging towards your direction.
Yeah.
I hand him a rag to wrap around himself.
Zaya!
Just to keep the queen's innocence, you
Hey,
know?
hang on. DM.
Uh-huh.
Fog cloud. I can control where it is, right? I want to fog cloud and cover up the lower portion of Gaul's body and keep it centered on him. 20-foot radius sphere.
Gaul looks down and goes, "Wow, it's breezy."
Yes, I'd prefer if you were covered, but I guess it's not illegal in the Tiefling lands.
No,
Anyway, about the ship.
not many people around here are willing to bother me. As he grabs a little bag from his back and pulls out his longsword and goes, "Not many people bother me when I'm carrying around my longsword."
That's very fair.
And I'm not talking about the sword. Anyways.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, Captain, you started this earlier when we were talking about the Bloodborne.
Oh, God, no.
Gaul looks at you guys. I could make a rain joke here, but yes, if you head south of the town and begin to head east, you'll come across a small fishing village. They have a couple of ships that they've captured over the years. There's a sailing ship I know that's for sale. No pun intended on that one. That's yeah, should work just fine. It's a little tinier, but you know, should work.
Thank you, Gaul. This information's real handy.
Yeah, that's not the only thing that was a handy. Anyway, so as far as it goes,
That's
if you want to make jokes with me, I'm gonna be honest, Your Highness. You're gonna have to up your game here. I am truly the royal of jokes. Um,
The Joker.
he smiles at Captain and goes, "Well, I'll put it this way. You know this
You're also
fog?
the head guard, so you're good
It's
at
not
punishment.
these clouds here, man. Yeah, well, this is the second wettest my balls have been today. All right, now, so he points off in the general direction. Head that way. There should be 3 ships: a war frigate that's worth about 50,000 gold pieces, a schooner that's worth, I think, 5, and then a small sailing ship that's worth 10.
okay. Thank you.
Can we tell them to build the country?
He smiles and says, "Yeah, good luck with that one. But if you're trying to
The
convince
royal-
them, yes."
The royal treasury. What counts as a situation where I could borrow from that?
Well, seeing as the royal treasury is currently paying for, he looks around the entire village and the mass
Yeah,
swath
no,
of
that's
farmlands.
I'll figure it out.
I'll tell you what.
Yes.
You know what? I'll give you a piece of advice. Tell him that it's on your new husband's as part of the dowry he owes for marrying into the country. That'll get you a free ship.
That should work.
Although
Recommend-
Tenham's gonna be pissed as all hell, but hey, you know what? I've seen worse.
Ricard cocks his eye and smiles.
So that means we get a free war frigate on that other country's dime, and when he gets, and we'll make sure to have them send the note saying this is the dowry.
There you go. Also, can you move the fog? That's starting to get kind of cold.
Yeah, I'll move it, but I'll keep it
I
to where it's between me and him, so I still can't see his lower
I'm
end.
gonna be nice. I'm gonna pull a rag out of my trunk and just hand it to him and be like, this should warm me up.
I thought you said you were gonna tie it on him.
He looks at the rag and starts scrubbing down. Oh man, that's so much better, and tosses it on the ground. I truly appreciate you.
Make sure you burn that one. I'm not sure where that one came from.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be the first time I've rubbed something on my balls I wasn't sure where it came from. Anyways, let me see. I think I should do it. I'm gonna head back to the castle, or back to the manor, and, I wish you best of luck on your, oh yeah, who's your regent?
Take that, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The person you want in charge while you're gone.
yeah,
guess
I'd
it's your
imagine
cousin.
Tikva. She seems to taken over when I was gone. When you said when I returned to the manor, if she's done well so far, I imagine she'd be good to keep in charge.
she definitely wears the pants here.
We can see you don't, my friend.
Captain, you take. Give me a moment.
That wasn't Captain, that was
No,
I
no.
know.
1d6, or it's 6 points of necrotic damage. No, there was something else, Malthor. Yeah, alright, well, to be fair, your cousin's always worn the pants in the relationship anyways, and she was gonna run things even if you chose someone else. And he looks, and goes, well, have a good one, your highness. I guess I'll see you when I see you. Cyrus, remember our deal.
I'll be back soon, hopefully with something useful.
He also looks at Zaya and smiles, like, all right. And you see him cast Dispel Magic as he turns and walks away.
Yeah, she's looking away. She was going to Dispel Fog
I put my shield over her eyes.
I need to be able to see to walk. I appreciate the sentiment. It'd be better if you just.
Not the way you're seeing. Not the way you're seeing. Just wait for
you just okay. Yeah, then Zaya gives him a thankful nod and then starts heading towards the direction where he said we can get boats. We don't have royal horses, do we? Just walking.
No, I can find Steed, but if I do, it's only gonna be for me.
Yeah, let's just walk. Zaya can walk. She can do that much.
If I find Steed, I want to find a talking horse, damn it.
Malthor, you suddenly recall the story of a man in the Dragonborn lands far off that rode a turtle that ate other turtles.
I sigh whimsically and think, I could ride a turtle like that.
Alright. As the party heads off in the general direction, following the road, we will come back next session to find out where they end up, what they achieve, and whether or not Captain will ever get that image washed out of his eyes. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Also, tune in for tomorrow's 24-hour stream.